So we are live. Hold on.
Hey, you. Yep, I'm talking to you. You're getting hungry. Very hungry. Your mouth is watering. You have a craving. A craving for Doritos. A craving for crunchy tacos. Well, have I got the treat for you? It's that time again. It's grill time, baby. Come on in tomorrow only to get your charcoal for 50% off. Choose your favorite smoker. That's 20% off. 3453 North Kimball in Chicago, Illinois. Remember, this sale is for one day only. Now that's how you save big money. It's selling out fast as New York City now. The first annual 1043 2018 Hip Hop Fallback Jam Session. It's something you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Denasia, and you're now tuned in to No Filter Radio with your host, Dope as Music.
Hello. So I'm going to take this off really quickly. Hold on 1 second. Shout out to Erica for the NBA. If y'all were here Thursday, you know who this fabulous queen is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna play the video that inspired me to create this piece. To rebroadcast this piece specifically. So let me go ahead and get my screen share back on so you guys can see it. It's been all over the media. Shout out to Kid and Play. Block for putting it together. It's basically this song is called House Party.
Gotta remember, that in the worst of times, we can make the best of times. Turn it up! New kids on the block! Come on. Boys time. Big freedom! Jordan Sparks! And Naughty by Nature! Ain't got nothing else but time. I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Gonna leave it all behind. When will it stop? I can't take this shit no more. Wanna go back to before. Come on. Think I'm a bust on out the door. Sit inside now. We're gonna turn the lights out. Don't you wanna let your feelings go? Let your feelings go. Our lights out. We're gonna pump it real loud. Don't say no, girl. Here we go. House party. Let's get it started. Cause we waited for you now. House party. Let's get it started. Cause we waited for you now. Let's stay home. Let's stay home. Stay home. Throw back the rug. It's a party. The bedroom's a club. It's a party. You can feel the love. Gonna party all night long. Come on. Throw back the rug. It's a party. All ribs a club. It's a party. Can you feel the love? Gonna party all night long. Stay home. Sleep inside. Turn the lights out. Don't you wanna let your feelings go? Let your feelings go. Our lights out. We're gonna pump it real loud. Feel out. Here we go. House party. Let's get it started. We're waiting on you now. House party. Let's get it started. Cause we're waiting on you now for some fun. Let's stay home. Stay home. Who's stopping, who's gagging, who's coming, can't get it, I'm bootlegging, no quitting, no kidding, I know women, there's no limit, in the spirit's no vaccine, tipping venom, making lemons, sip cognac, sip vodka, still lava. Top of the block, double shots of gently, born to Bentley, mucho caliente. Who's rocking, who's popping, who's out there, who's rolling, who's scrolling, who's out there. We give it in as long as we got headroom. Streaming out from the bedroom, get the group chat, let's make some noise. You call your girls, I call my boys. If we can get it jumping like a quarantine, join the virtual party scene. It's a party. Cause we waiting long enough. Let's get it started. It's a party. Let's get it started. Stay home. Won't be too long.
Yes. Shout out to New Kids on the Block. That was such a fun track. I saw it. I randomly saw it on Chris Clay Martin's Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun!" So I figured, I was like, "Well." So the show that we're rebroadcasting tonight is the one that we did in Next Legacy, where we had hold on 1 second. Why is my thing echoing? 1 second. Make sure all my YouTubes are off. Okay.
I like how they did that.
Huh?
I like how they did that.
I know, it was super cool. Like, it was everybody from, like, it was so many different genres and different nationalities that just came together. Like, artists that typically don't work together came together to make this project. I think that was really dope. I love the fact that they honored House Party, the movie, and that was really cool. So yeah. So this episode, it has Chris Clay Martin and the Furious Five. And so if y'all know hip hop, y'all know who that is. And they're just having a conversation regarding music and and how hip hop is and what their feelings are about how hip hop is now. So it's very interesting. If we get cut off, it's because it gets super deep. I'm just letting y'all know now. I don't know. It might happen this morning. Have like super deep about music. All of a sudden, YouTube be like, "Whoop!" I'm like, "Well, I got it." Excuse me. So we'll see. So yeah. So it's mainly the guys, and then Brandon was hosting it. So yeah, it's gonna be a really fun show. It's one of my favorite shows. Really impactful. There's so many powerful things that are stated, and listen to people that have been in the game for 20, 30 years. What they're feeling about music is now and the music industry in general. So yep. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's hit it.
Love Talk Radio.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Make you want to get roller skates out.
Everywhere, people pissing on the bed, they just don't care. I can't take the sound, can't take the noise, got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with a social repossessed my car. So push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Standing on the front stoop, hanging out the window, watching all the cars go by, roaring as the music blows. crazy lady living in a bag. Now the Gospel used to be a bag hag, session at the tango, skipping like a tango, was hooked on Princess, seen the lost the senses, down at the peep show, watching all the creeps, so she could tell a story to the girls back home. She went to the city and got so the city, she had to get a bitch, she couldn't make it on her own. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. My brother's doing fast on my mother's TV. Says she watching too much, just not healthy. All my children in the daytime, Dallas at night. Can't even see the game or the Sugar Ray fight. The bill collectors to ring my phone and scare my wife when I'm not home. Got a bum education, double digits inflation. Can't take the train to the job. There's a strike at the station. On King Kong standing on my back, can't stop to turn around. Broke my sacroiliac, a mid-range migraine, cancer, membrane. Sometimes I think I'm on this thing. I swear I might hijack a plane. Call, close to the edge. Trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. My son said, Daddy, I don't want to go to school because the teacher's a jerk. He must think I'm a fool. And all the kids go to reaper. I think it'd be cheaper if I just got a job, learn to be a street sweeper. I dance to the beat, shuffle my feet, wear a shirt and tie, and run with the crease. Because it's all about money. Ain't a damn thing funny. You got to have a con in this land of milk and honey to push that girl in front of the train. Took her to the doctor, so the arm on again. Stabbed that man right in his heart. Gave him a transfer for a brand new start. I can't walk through the park cause it's crazy at the start. Keep my hand on my gun cause they got me on the run. I feel like an outlaw, broke my last jaw. He would say, you want some more? Living on a seesaw. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. You say what? It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you go through. You'll grow in the ghetto, living second rate, and your eyes will sing a song of beat hate. The places you play and where you stay looks like one great big alleyway. You'll admire all the number book takers, thugs, nips, and pushers, and the big money makers. Driving big cars in the 20s and 10s, and you want to grow up to be just like them. Smugglers, scramblers, burglars, gamblers, pickpocket peddlers, even panhandlers. You say I'm cool, I'm no fool, but then you wind up dropping out of high school. Now you're unemployed, all non-boy, walking around like your pretty boy Floyd. Turned stick-up kid, but look what you done did. Got sent up for an 8-year bid. Now your man on the street and you're a Maytag. Spend the next 2 years as an undercover bag being used and abused, served like hell. So one day you was found hung dead in the cell. It was plain to see that you lost. You was cold and your body swung back and forth. But now your eyes sing the sad, sad song of how you live so fast and die so young. So don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Yo, Mel, you see that girl, man? Yo, that sound like Cowboy, man. Yo, what's up, buddy? Yo, feeling right. He ain't at me. What's up for tonight, y'all? Yo, we can go down to the beach, man. They got shoes off. Hey, yo, you know that girl Betty? Yeah, man. My mom got balls in. What? Yeah, she got her friend. Please, don't nobody move nothing. Y'all don't have to get them up. Get them up, man. We down with that man. Flash in the back. We got a gang. No. Shut up. Oh, hey, yo, now. Shut up. What you problem? You the problem. You the problem. Yo, you ain't got to get the car. Get the car. Get the car. Get the car. I don't know.
Not only is it a beautiful morning out here on the west, it's also a lovely, lovely afternoon, early afternoon over on the East Coast. This is the AM Buzz. I am Brandon, and we are here, and we are here to shake up hip hop history. I mean, not only do we have a nice show built for knowledge, education, music, social awareness, the whole thing. I just want to appreciate all the love from the people overseas and of course in the States where we at that got a lot of love for hip hop culture and where it's at. So not only are we here to make a difference, and we here to make sure that we charge this game up heavy with knowledge, like real facts about a lot of different things. And why not start with a group that's done it for a while? When I say a while, I'm talking about they getting ready to celebrate their illustrious 35th year in this business, with so many different things on the horizon as far as shows and different events, and being inductees of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and winning Grammys and having powerful songs and stuff like that still resonate to this day. It's only fair that I introduce Furious 5 members Melly Mel, Scorpio, Kid Creole, Raheem. I mean,
yes, sir.
Why? How come we can't get authentic live on the air like this? What up, fellas?
What's good?
All right. My man Chris Martin Play of Kid and Play will be in shortly because he is a major fan of you guys, and it'd be an honor to be able to have you guys, collaborate, talk, do what you do. But I mean, 35 years, fellas. I mean, how y'all feel? I'll start off with Mel and go down the list.
I feel still feel good. I still enjoy what I do. So, had a good career. We still got a little bit ways to go. So, I feel like I'm blessed, and just like I said, I'm happy that I'm still being able to do what I do. So yeah, it's all good.
Scorp, it's been a minute, man. Scorpio, how you feeling, bro? You good?
Oh yeah, no doubt. One love, man. It's still great. You know what I mean? Still having fun doing what we do. You know what I mean? We still love a lot of parts of hip hop. You know what I mean? So, we just waiting for that next episode.
That's right. Kid Creole, man, how you living?
It's all good, big dog. Good, living good. You know what I'm saying? Good to be here. This afternoon on the AM Buzz. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out with you brothers.
That's what it is. Raheem, good?
Yes, sir. Just like a pimple on a supermodel's face. Just very happy to be here, my brother.
I love it. Not only do I love that, man, I love the fact that y'all here, y'all ready to give us some game, and I also want to add to the queue, you know what I'm saying, one of the good guys of this industry that, helped mold and shape hip hop just like you have, and I want to welcome my man Christopher Play Martin in and on deck on the AM Buzz. Play. What up?
What's good, Charles? What's good, fellas? What's happening?
Yo, Player.
Man, y'all, there's no words to express how I'm feeling right now. I had to say a little prayer, and Lord, please hook a brother up. Man.
We all said a little something to the Lord this morning when we got up, big dogs.
Yeah, man, yeah. This is an honor, man. This is an honor. Real talk,
Thank you, Brad.
I mean, not only is it an honor to have you five here, I mean, we're looking at a lot of history this morning, this afternoon, and it's more than official, and it's just like I said to kick off the show. I mean, celebrate 35 years that you guys have had in this business, and you guys will be performing at the BB King's Club in July, the DC's Howard Theater in July as well, and as much love as you guys have gotten throughout the international, like Japan, Australia, so much different love. So, Raheem, how you feel about the international love that you guys still continue to get after all this time as well?
Well, the level of appreciation for the fans, that the fans have abroad is much more prevalent and obvious. They come out in all ages, all ethnic groups, and it's like their appreciation is just very high, and every time we go over there, they always come out.
That's what it is. Mel, with all this extra, international attention, I know, you guys got some sets out there. Germany loves you guys as well. You know what I'm saying? So I know that feeling has got to be good too, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you know what it is? We got a lot of love here because I'll be out on the street, you know, I still stay up in the Bronx and in New York, you know, and I'll be out and about, and people, you know, they give us a lot of love here, but it's just the way the media projects it. It's like, you know, they project it like it's something that's a foregone conclusion or it's something that we did, you know, and people forgot about. But people didn't forget about the Furious Five or anything that happened back in the day. They still love it. It's just not projected as the end thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like it seems like you know, guys like Lil Wayne and a lot of these young cats define what's really going on, but that's not what's really going on. That's just, you know, a projection. That's like, it's more or less like an illusion. But, you know, because I mean, when you got guys that did, you know, like the first 15 years of hip hop, when you got guys that did all those classic songs for the world, that's something that's never going to be forgotten, no matter what the mainstream media, you know, would care to project or you know, what the radio stations would play, because it's bigger than that. It's like all those snapshots in time and all those memories in people's lives. You know what I mean? That never goes nowhere. It's just that, like I said, the media just don't project it the way it's supposed to be, you know, right now.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. Scorpio, you want to add on to anything with that?
No, I mean, you know, just, you know, even like for the international market, you know what I mean? You know, just for that, they show everybody in the right light. You know what I mean? Just, you know, I don't know what Mel was saying. So I guess that's why it always seemed like, you know, we never went out of style, you know, abroad. You know what I mean? And, you know, at one point, I even lived abroad. You know, I lived a couple of years in Germany and Stockholm, Sweden. You know what I mean? So I know, like, they always put, you know, classic groups, whether it's us or the Kid Who Plays, in those, you know, proper lights. That's why when you hear a lot of groups, you know what I mean, you might not hear a lot of groups in the States, but you can guarantee most of them is overseas working because they still got that respect. You know what I mean? Right. You know, when you hear about the EPMD, the Dead President, the Dead Prez, and all of them cats like that, they over there working religiously. You know what I mean? Because that's where the respect is. You know what I mean? So I guess there's some more work got to be done here, you know, in the States. You know what I mean? To get out, you know, put up a couple more magazines and papers and stuff like that, and then it all bounce out.
Right. Creole, you feel the same way?
Yes, I do. I feel that, like I said, we have a certain presence in America that's undocumented to a degree because the industry want to skew young, so they want to pay attention to all of that's doing something right now, and the pioneers and people like that, they're more or less in the background or on the back burner. The fire's still on, you know what I'm saying, but the focus is not on them, or rather on us. So, you know, what our main focus is, and doing interviews like this goes a long way in helping us do that, is to let people know that, you know, the fire's still burning, you know, we still out there, we still ready to damage and destroy, you know what I'm saying? That we gotta put ourselves in a position where we let people know that. So,
no doubt.
And doing it,
and I completely agree where y'all coming from. I mean, it's all about, it's a little bit deeper to me as far as the culture, and I feel like the culture of hip hop, and I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna kick it off, you know, with my man Play, and of course he's brought to you by brandnews.com, brand news with a Z.com, and Chris, my thing is this, and we you know, you've actually, you know, helped out with so many different things on a music level and acting and, you know, all kinds of different things, but let's put a focus, fellas, on the culture of hip hop, like the culture that gave birth to me, you know, kind of started with, you know, the Furious Five, of course, and so many people that helped evolve the hip hop tradition, you know, as far as being creative, different sounds, you know what I'm saying? When I was looking at the message the other day on YouTube, and I was like, man, like even the gear y'all had on was just like, you know, relatable, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I was just looking at a lot of different things and Play when I say all these things about creativity and that birth of hip hop, what happened? Is it still here? Did it disappear?
Well, it's definitely not the same. You know, I don't think that the soul is in it the way it used to be. I mean, when I think about, you know, me coming up and how important it was for me to get my hands on a tape from Uptown, whatever the latest tape, that somebody risked their life from Queens to go uptown to tape with, you know, the performances that would go on and come back, and, you know, you'd be like at the edge of your seat, just like listening to the tape of what went on. Cassette tape, for people out there that don't know what a cassette tape was, that's what happened before we got MP3s. So anyway, to be able to listen to that. And then, you know, my main thing was, you know, I broke rules. Me and my partner in crime, Herbie, who everybody knows as Herbie the Love Bug, we did what we needed to do to go up to Uptown, Bronx, whatever, to see, you know, Flash and them perform. You know, that was like, and Funky Four and the list of stuff goes on. But when you look at it in contrast today, I had raised a question on Facebook the other day. I'm like, what makes the rhymes of materialism back then from the rhymes of materialism today? And the response was really incredible, because basically at surface value, they seem like they're the same. But we raised the question of what's the intention? What was the spirit behind it? What was the method to the madness? Back then, it was about aspirations. It was about dreams. It was about stuff you were going to do for your family if and when you get your hands on money. Today it's quite different. I'm not going to get into a judgment thing. But one of the people had quoted Mel's rhyme about buying a mansion. I think I did it, but someone finished the rhyme about buy a mansion for my mother. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know, it's different. You know, and that has a lot to do with the DNA and the contrast between the two. I understand where the young heads are coming from. I've been teaching official courses in higher learning institutions for well over 10 years now. Miles College, North Carolina Central University, FAMU, and now Delaware State University soon, and working with Duke University. And it's just interesting where people's concepts and heads is at. When you mention the mistake I used to make first teaching was assuming everybody heard the first rap record I heard. You can't do that with young heads today. They're not going to say the message. They're not going to say Jimmy Spicer. They're not going to say any of that. And then when I'm able to introduce to them, you know, that era and show them footage of it, they definitely feel like they've been robbed. It's like you growing up on Burger King and McDonald's all your life until you get introduced to Steak and Shake. And you find out what a real burger is like. So when they see that contrast, they're like, yo, we thought we were having fun. We thought this was hip hop. What's that y'all were doing then? That it's something in that. We can't articulate it, but it's something in that looks better, that looks pure, and the word is soul. It's real soul, you know.
Melly Man, what you want to add on to that, man?
Well, the roots of hip hop was definitely, it was the music of the poor. It was people that didn't have, and the basic concept of hip hop, the breakdancing, the graffiti, you know, that was later on with the beat art. You know what I mean? Scratching the turntables that went on to be the band for the music. It was all music that poor people did to first of all to get by, and then second of all to express, and then it went on to create. How it gets to the point right now where hip hop is the music of, like, you know, these upper class black, all this buzz, like everybody just wanna love the bad, but you know the bad gets to something that puts black people socially and economically on one level, and they change the whole dynamics to what it is. To like it's like it lost all its meaning. You know what I mean? Like if you got rappers writing a message, and those are still the number 1 and 2 records after 35 years of hip hop, that just doesn't show what went on afterwards. It was better before, like it was better when guys were doing it because we just like how Chris said, it was better when it came from the soul. It was soul music. It was poor people, you know, really just creating and doing what they did to be known and to be famous and to get money in the lyrics, instead of just, you know, just some guy, you know, you almost a billionaire and you still talking about selling dope. Like everybody, you know, they all upset with the white people and they still talking about selling dope. And then, you know, then you got the lower level weirdos, you know, and the only thing they talk about is selling dope. But all that is in front of the people, you know what I mean? It's like, where's the true voice of the people right now? And it's gone in hip hop. You know what I mean? And it's pathetic to me. It's pathetic.
Wow, that's heavy. Scorpio, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what I think as well. I think even like some of the artists as today, they can put themselves in a position to do some great things. Some of them, make great records, but the test of time will see if any of them will be classics. And yes, respect, to my man Nas. I think Nas really is one of the last of the Mohegans that still got his foot in the new school music that is definitely giving out that hip hop soul music that Clay is talking about. So you know what I mean? It ain't like all of them. You know what I mean? It's up under the bus with that. But when we have artists like Nas and stuff like that to come out, and even Common, you know what I mean? So it's like a handful that's really still trying to do it. We just got to rally around the ones that's doing it and just big them up and keep it moving. And because that other side is really for them.
But you know what? Sorry for cutting you off, Squawk, but how about them rallying around us for a change? How about that? Because obviously they don't work.
I wasn't saying. Yeah, I know. I ain't talking about all. I'm just talking about the ones that just doing decent stuff.
What I'm talking about is the industry. We don't got to rally around them because we don't
around it.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the artists.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about the artists. I ain't talking the industry. Ben done came up on us. You know what I mean? So we just got to keep doing what we do, and it's going to be the people that's going to put us in our proper place. You know what I mean? Because it was always when it was always a situation when it was just us, just relating directly with the crowd or the people. It was never no misconception who we was or what we did or where we gonna go with this. When it got to the point where the industry had to step in, and now all of a sudden they the gatekeepers of something we created. You see where we at now. We almost like the Rosa Parks back in the bus, even with all of the accolades we got, all of the trophies, all of everything. You know what I mean? You talk about the Series 5, you know what I mean? Especially if you put it in a certain content with Grandmaster Flash and Series 5, they almost see us like we the pick. You understand what I'm saying? So all we got to do is really just try to keep ourselves in front of the people. Not even the industry, just the people. And I think everything about it is about.
I think another a real unfortunate situation is a bad case of imbalance. Because when radio finally did, like a WBLS and KTU or whatever, finally did embrace rap, even though I give more props to Philly for supporting hip-hop music before New York really did, with God bless our Lady B, that there was diversity. You can hear the different...
the industry would definitely destroy vision. That's for damn sure.
Music. 1 minute, you got, Heavy D and the Boys. Then you got some Public Enemy. Then you might have Beat That, Let's Do the WAP. You had representation of the different moods and the different things when it became more popular. Now it's like when I do listen to music on the radio, all I got to do is listen to it for maybe 30 minutes tops, and I know that's what's going to be played for like the rest of the day. So like I think Bob mentioned, was talking about in regards to the fact of the gatekeepers, is that you have an imbalance. You don't have equal time for a Nas. His last album was brilliant. You don't have equal time for a Common or Ali Kweli or all of that. And I mean, even the new music you guys is putting out, I mean, there's room for it all because hip hop culture is so old now that it isn't a matter of it's just for the young heads. I heard there's supposed to be a movement called Hip Hop Contemporary that speaks for cats 30, 40 above that still love hip hop, but let's deal with the issues that demographic lives through, but in hip hop music and expression. There's room for it. But, like Scorp said, there is the gatekeepers. Powers that be.
Amen to that. AM Buzz has hip hop icons Furious 5 and also Chris Play Martin right here, right now on the AM Buzz. And I'm gonna ask you this, Creole, like, with all that's being said, and I think Mel mentioned it too, when as far as a society in which we live, we was poor. I mean, we grew up in, the message really hit home because this is really what we saw outside. So, a lot of what we see now, 35 years later, still kind of happens. Some happens a little bit more so than others in some hoods. And in the society in which we live in, I mean, does that lack of evolution, to have people talk about a lot of material things that they wish they had? So a lot of people are really geared up towards the material in their lyrics, I guess you could say.
to a degree, like say, to a degree, you can say that. But see, I can't really judge or think for the cat that's writing something, that's trying to create. Like say, I can only stand back and comment from afar.
Right.
For me, it seems like cats are overly materialistic in the things that they're writing now, and I really don't want to try to criticize anybody because I'm not really feeling any benefit from doing that. But we rhymed about things about things that we wanted, the things that we desired, the things that we aspired to. There's no real difference in that. What we was trying to do as far as I want to do this, I want to go here, I want to have this. But something that Play said earlier is really important in this issue right here. We did things and it had a certain feeling that was pure. Like we didn't try to insult anybody or to try to be derogatory toward anybody because there was certain conduct that we had to follow because we came behind those R&B groups that had a certain amount of professionalism. So when they came to the table, they was fit, polished. Everything
exactly.
Was,
couldn't play. Hell yeah.
Tailored,
yes.
pressed, clean. Saying you didn't see these cats like they just stepped off the street and came on the stage. The way cats express themselves now is it seems like they have a certain disconnection with professionalism. I'm not going to say they're not professional because they are. They're making money.
Right, and I'm like, I'll say if they're not professional, that's some bullshit.
But they seem to lack a certain. This might be a bad word. They seem to lack. They don't have the wherewithal to understand that the things that they saying really affect the youth, and it makes them behave in a manner that's outside their character. I say, in other words, normally, let's say if you grew up in an inner city neighborhood, you would be in the street and you would try to find things to do in order to entertain yourself, and the main thing that you would try to do is not to try to hurt anybody. You would try to go out and try to have fun. And it seems like cats nowadays, they want to put themselves in a position where they're fake tough. Knowing that, this might be a bad statement, but knowing that, like say, if you really good, you spent most of your time inside writing and creating. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't outside scrambling and slinging this and putting your hand on a gun and doing all kinds of illegal. You wasn't doing that because you don't have time for that. If you aren't all that good, maybe you were doing that, and then you was able to string a couple of things together. If you was really, really talented, you spent most of your time inside writing and creating, and that was your life. You didn't have the time to be out there getting in trouble and being the quote unquote pseudo thug. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to me, it seems like the materialism in hip hop today is not unlike what we do. Is that there's no real soul to it. Like Cats is really doing it for, and now we all did it. We all doing it for money because we have to live. It seems like that's the main thing. Like we want to try to get money and however project ourselves. Like say we want to go to the lowest common denominator. We don't want to get a certain amount of class and like you have to work to get to where I am. You could just step off the street, wear some baggy pants, get on stage, have some crazy tattoo on your face, and say some of the most derogatory things in order to shock people, and then you good.
But you know what?
So I get what you're saying. So go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I just wanted to say this play. Creole just said something that's so deep because I'm thankful to be alive long enough to remember when I can benefit from both sides of the spectrum of eras, ERA and S and all of that good stuff. But he just was saying that you took the time to be inside and write your rhymes. But see, one of the things that have taken place is when you have hip hop heroes who talk about they don't write their rhymes down. You have a lot of artists now that want to be like them. So it's like now there's no such thing as a rhyme book. That used to be very important among your crew, was your rhyme book.
Amen.
and all of that. They don't do that. Now you're losing the art of writing. You're not thinking about what you're saying. It's coming out of your mind. You're rapping off the top of the dome, and most of the time it sounds just like that. And then on top of that, too, what was very important, I was thinking about it earlier because Beat Street was on Bounce TV this morning, was that how important it was not for anybody to be fighting somebody else's style. You know, that was something we worked real hard at, too. It was all about uniqueness and originality and really, really trying to be different. And those things have faded away, which has had a really negative repercussion in regards to people following it to a fault, you know?
Yep, I agree. And Raheem, what do you think about this? Like, you know, what all has been said literally, like, you know, the last, few minutes or whatever. It seems like a lot of people tend to, you know, want to make the here and now joints instead of making songs that's going to leave a legacy later on. Because, you know, of course, you know, Play said it best. Hip hop heroes is. I'm kind of in that same zone. I mean, I'm a fan, and you guys are my music heroes growing up as well. So, you know, a lot of people tend to want to just do the real quick, you know, mention the fast food joints versus the, you know what, I think I need to leave this and make this impact heavy as far as leaving a legacy that people be able to hear, listen to, and feel emotion-wise for years to come.
Yeah, well,
right.
Go ahead. I think that the state of hip hop today, without being too harshly critical of today's generation of hip hop practitioners, I believe that the state of hip hop today is more indicative of the fact that we're not in control of our culture. I think that, you know, it's bigger than the artists who are making the music because, first of all, it doesn't matter what kind of music we make, the radio stations have to play it, and the record labels have to manufacture it. So there was an incident, or without sounding like a conspiracy theorist, in, I believe it was 1990, out on the West Coast, there was a meeting or a series of meetings held with top record label executives and prison officials. And basically what happened was the prison officials, the record label executives invested money in these private prisons. And so the owners of the private prisons offered the record company executives further monetary benefit by way of, if they influence their artists to make the kind of music that would influence their listeners to act out and behave in a manner that was conducive to getting them to go to prison, their prisons would be filled, and thereby the record label executives would make more money because they invested in these prisons, and the prison officials would, of course, make more money because their prisons would be filled. And I don't know about you guys, but since 1990, that's definitely what's been happening. So I don't think I ain't gonna disagree with you, brother. I'm sorry? I said I ain't gonna disagree with you on that, brother. Yeah. So, you know, I think that, you know, whenever anything starts out grassroots, you know, it's the wholesomeness of it, and the purity of it is you know, is very enchanting. But then once anything grassroots is embraced by corporate America or corporate anyone, that changes the nature of what it was forever. It's never going to be the same.
Yes.
What we can do is continue to promote and you know, put out music and do things that are indicative of our brand of hip hop culture because it's the purest. But because of the fact that, you know, time doesn't stand still, so,
you know, the Wright brothers invented the airplane, but you know, we flying on jets today.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that doesn't make it right for the fact that, you know, the music industry has completely robbed the culture of hip hop and repackaged it in a way that's palatable for them to be monetarily successful. And you know,
I'm sorry for cutting you off, Paul, but you know the thing that I most don't like, and anybody that know me, including all the stars or whatever, I never did like gangsta music. I never did like it because to me it was just corny, it was destructive, being that most of the guys that was saying it, they wasn't really gangsta. But the thing that I dislike most of all is that they use nowadays hip hop and all these characters that you see on TV to describe black people right now. Like in a day where you got a black president, you know what I mean? They're downplayers, like they downplay the contribution of Barack Obama to black society, and then upplay all of this gangsterism and this thuggism, like that really means something. Like in other words, I live in a 5-story walk-up. It might be one person on every floor that smoke weed. So that might be just 5 families. And there's 4 or 5 apartments on every floor. But if you go walk up in the hallway and you smell all the weed in the hallway, you think everybody in the building smoke weed. But there's only 5 families. And that's what's going on with hip hop and in society. Like they use like just one style of what's going on, and then that defines the whole style. Like East Coast rappers, there's no such thing as East Coast rap. You turn on the radio and you hear that Southern rap. Now, there's nothing wrong with Southern rap within itself, but I'm not from the South. I don't think this necessarily relates to what's going on with, you know, every little country function or every, you know, somebody that, you know what I mean? It's like Cash really forgot where the talent comes from. Like me myself, I feel like I got scratches on my back that's when my South is a little Wayne, and I'm going to show my back. You see what I'm saying? And then that's the bottom line. See, what it is what they do is like they say new is new and old is old. But in music, there is no old when it comes to classics. You see what I'm saying? And we even said into that. It's like, well, you know, with this new music, it's not about new music. Because listen, if it's good, it's good. Okay, we're going to work with it. If it's bad, why can't, you know, like this, nobody like, well, I don't want to say that if it's garbage, it's garbage. If we made a rap song, we'll learn everybody on the radio. Radio for everybody. The song wasn't good. I don't feel it. It's like, you know what I mean? Well, now all of a sudden after everybody, you know, I feel about how good I was, I could have been. Now all of a sudden don't nobody feel it somewhere. Like don't nobody want to say, what's real weird? And, you know, like what they do on TV, you know, like, you know, when they come on TV, like what they do on TV is kind of awful. You know, what they saying on the records about all this chilling, like it's something cool about it. It's indicative of the fact that we're not in control. We are not in control. We are in control. We're in control of what we do. And we've been patient. Exactly. And we've been patient. You know what I mean? Because it's like we're in control of what we do. Like I said, at the end of the day, what it all boils down to is that something's wrong. And it's got artists and even black people as black people. If something's wrong, nobody would just come out and say that's wrong. Like when we grew up, if we did something wrong, somebody like a stranger could pull you over. You see what I'm saying? You got that situation where somebody could do wrong. Like it's like in every major city with young black and Latinos, and they killing each other. But then nobody says that that's wrong. But then when the one thug dude gets shot by a cop, they're killing our kids. They're killing our. But what about all the kids that get killed every day? I keep a picture in my wallet of a young little boy. There's a little baby boy that got killed in 5 houses, and nobody really make a big enough difference about it to say that it was just wrong. That it's just the wrong thing to do. So now you got young men, and they think that it's their life, like it's their culture. You know, gay culture in New York. I understand it's LA, but in New York, come on. You see what I'm saying? And that's what all the words are. They let what's going on define who we are, not only in music, because music is a small thing.
But as who we are as people, like black people, like these young black people don't really like black people, and that's cool. As long as the cops don't shoot them, it's still cool. You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's very disturbing to me. To me, it's very disturbing because it's like we fell in love with the black Ku Klux Klan all of a sudden. You see what I'm saying? And it's disturbing to me.
I look at it like this too, and you made perfect points on it all as far as, you know, how everything has been molded and shaped and the whole deal. And I always looked at hip hop as a fraternity, like, you know what I'm saying? You guys help, you know, mold and shape different careers, people that was inspired by what you guys have done. You know, I could say the same thing for you. You inspire so many different people, not just, you know, your peers in the industry, but also, you know, the loyal fan base that's gonna stay down with you always. And I just feel like that each one teach one syndrome kind of died out, and I don't know where it fell off, but it just seemed like nobody wants to help out each other no more. So, you know, I'm gonna start this one off with Scorpio. My question to you is, I mean, you feel where I'm coming from, one, and two, if you see it, what can we do to be able to kind of help rectify that? Because it's gonna take more than just the Furious Five, and it's gonna take more than just Play and the people out there listening that feel what we're saying in order for us to be able to turn this thing around.
I mean, well, you know, that's really a hard one to say, you know, how we gonna put this back in that order. Because just like Rob said, you know what I mean. You know, that part of the industry and that soulfulness, I think it is gone. You know what I mean. The only thing we can do is do what we do. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, no matter how much, you know, intelligence we have, or, you know, how much wisdom we have, especially if you're talking to the newer cat, only thing they want to know if you talking is we leaning on the bench, is we caked up, can you know what I mean? Can we chant money? You know what I mean? So it's hard to get through the cat when they prize is money. You know what I mean? And if we in our prize, I don't get it wrong. You know what I mean? We love money like the next. You know what I mean? But we still cut from that other cloth where we know that it's something spiritual to this. You know what I mean? But they don't see that. They disconnected from that side. So it's really hard for a lot of cats to even hear what we say. Because we could be on CNN right now, making all of the things we want. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, 90% of the newer cats that we try to talk about, they looking at seeing what we wearing on our rings, what type of trains, you know, we got drapes down and stuff, and the whether is they gonna listen to us or not. Because even if you look at somebody like, you know, Russell Simmons or Puff or cats like that, now they really like folks our age, and some of them is even older than us. But you would never hear anybody call Russell Simmons old school. You would never hear nobody call Puff old school. Because, you know what I mean? Because they holding so much cake, and that's the prize to a lot of these cats. So they would never even put them in the same class as us, even though, you know what I mean, they not, you know, official hip hop.
These days, we take young rappers to speak up. Yep.
But, you know,
like Nipsey was doing. And Kendrick and Chance, absolutely.
All part of hip hop, but they would never call him an old school artist because of that money factor. So that's a hard call if you don't got that cake next.
Right.
But
what are your thoughts on that, bro?
Let me just interject like Christine.
Go ahead.
This is the beauty of what it is, and this is why God is great. Because the one thing that everybody seems to forget, definitely young people, but even some of us too, this is still the record business. And once you get the next thing, everybody's still gonna follow that thing. You see what I'm saying? So now at the end of the day, it's like the game is never gonna be over. Because all you gotta do is just come up with the right song. And I've been a true believer. Anybody ever talk to me, I always talk about coming up with that song. And all it takes is one. You see what I'm saying? You're only one joint away from burying whatever it is that ever went on in the past. Because just like the next guy that came out with 50 Cent, the consensus in the street, and I really don't really care anyway, but I feel like anybody, which was a couple of years ago, 50 Cent was the hottest guy. Now everybody to a person, no 50 Cent don't even have a band out there.
And even though Kanye, absolutely, most definitely
Kanye.
Kanye.
Just because the next guy came with a record. Now, nobody's not coming out with the kind of record, or you might not be able to get them played, but if you can sneak one through, this game is over because it's still the record business. And how they try to change it to sales business or the millionaire club,
change it however you want to change it, Duke. But if you ain't making that hit, then they ain't making no hits now. They know, I keep it years ago. When was the last important hip hop song? We can't remember. We could discuss it, and it'll be like something that came over 10 years ago. Public Enemy, something like that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there it is. So, and that was. You see what I'm saying? That goes back to. I'm sorry to interject, Mel. That goes back to my point. This is Raheem. And that. Hello?
Yeah, I think Raheem had it. I think it's called drop. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Play, go ahead, bro.
Conspiracy.
I mean, this is play. What Mel said is absolutely right. The thing that's the pros and the cons to this music business is how disloyal it is. There is no loyalty. All it takes is a hit. And, it comes from that old cliche, you're only as good as your last hit. And 50 Cent is a real good example of that. Even when you look at Puff and Rush, I don't think anybody looks at them anymore as far as aspiring to be them as artists, but they look at them as inspirations in regards to what can prayerfully come out of this thing, what you can be set for life. But what I wanted to touch on, which Ra had spoke on in regards to that meeting that took place.
Yes, one,
I don't know if it's true, but it's a heck of a coincidence. But, I look at the same thing in regards to the school situation in hip hop. When hip hop finally got to the place where it was making music videos, most of the music videos, like 8 out of 10, the backdrop or the concept had something to do with a school, which was a subliminal message to the watcher and the listener that, hey, the place to be must be school. That's where the cute girls is at. That's where we can have some fun out with my boys. Whatever the case may be, there was some subliminal, indirect message that school was the place to be. I dare anybody to name one rap record, one hip hop video out now that has anything to do with a school. And that can have a lot to do in regards to the dropout rates, which can only most of the time lead to a prison situation. So, everything to me is by design. There is a strategy involved. Why is so much money put behind images that, support liquor, you got to own a Rolls Royce, you got to hang out in the clubs, the girls got to look like this, the dudes got to look like that. To undeveloped minds, that's the picture of success. It's the same thing that took place when I was a shorty, and I wanted whatever the Furious 5 or anybody was wearing, that's what I wanted to wear. I can't tell you how many sheepskin coats I got, or, when it got into the leather pants, or whatever the case. It's all about influence. It's all about what you think success is. So when you look at it today, and you're not seeing any images that's promoting education or school, I can't be mad at these young heads unless I have a one-on-one with them to be able to break it down. But they think the success, the girl, the jury, all of that is either sticking somebody up, taking yours. We only want to get into the whole spirit of entitlement, and that whole thing. So, that's it's like Ness said. And by the way, I wanted to be you, Ness, when I was a shorty. That name was treacherous, Mr. Ness.
There you go. One love.
I was disappointed when it changed to Scorpio. I said, Scorpio, come on, man. What is this?
Right.
But with all that being said, it was all about the influence. It was all about that. And when you look at it today, it's no accident that you have the decline you have.
Yeah,
and there were some
Good.
people who saw what the influence, powers to be, Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. The title. That they are moving and shaking people to say, this is what it's going to be. This is what it will do. But I tell you, the positive thing, and I think Mel will love this, is that lately you've seen the power of people. And when you turn around and you form on a Reebok and you form on a Pepsi or PepsiCo, and you see things change, it gives you an indication that the power is still with the people if we can be unified.
Right, no doubt. See, and what else do I do definitely what Raheem said, because I remember DST told me that about 6 or 7 years ago. I didn't believe him, but I believe him now. But see, some of it is like with the powers that be, but a lot of it is just with the way that black people evolve as far as how we are and how we raise ourselves and how we raise our kids. Let's see, what we're witnessing right now is the whiteification of Black America. Now, when we
came up and when our parents came up from their parents, we was taught the importance of having the things that white people obtain in their lives. We was taught the importance of having it, and you work towards it. Now, what they teach kids is the value of it. How much the sneakers cost. Not the importance of having those sneakers. Like if you're gonna get the best sneakers, what you gonna do with the best sneakers, or what you gonna do with a $500 pair of jeans? The only thing that taught to young kids is the value. Like you got these young little girls and they fashion critics. Oh yeah, those are the Christian LaCroix. Yeah, what do you care? If you don't know what you don't know what the car is for, like they don't know the importance of having the best car, but they know how much the best car costs. And that was the whiteification of Black America. When we were black, everybody told, our whole thing in America, we want to fit in the white world. And you had to be engaging enough to engage the white man to fit in the white world. Now it's like, okay, but that house cost, I always live in a $3.5 million house. Good for what? So you see what I'm saying? The end game is lost. The only thing they know is the middle part. We want, even the way black people chill now. 20 years ago, there was no DC sniper that was the black guy that would go. You know what I mean? Because black people, it was certain things that black people just wouldn't do, or they shouldn't do. Now it's like, no matter what anybody would say, just like the little Wayne comment about Emmett Till. Emmett Till. Black man would say that. What black man would say that? And then he put it around, and then only until they went to take his money, his endorsement, well, I want to take a moment to realize that I heard a moment, Wayne, that's all it is. Just take a moment. You see what I'm saying? That's just going to show the mindset of a black man today. It's like the culture thing don't really mean nothing. Your people don't mean nothing. And all other people, they things didn't change. White people go for white people, Chinese people go for Chinese, Koreans go for Korean. Black, no, they don't go for black. They want to have what the white have simply because they want to just be in that frame. Okay, I got the money to afford this, but not, okay, I got this money and I'm going to work just to get my money, then I want to look back and then I want to help my people. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's the ratification of the black man. The only thing these young kids understand, they don't understand the importance of having wealth. They just understand the art of the wealth. Right. And right there, without the end game, that's our destruction right there. That's the destruction.
And that's definitely a part of the AM Buzz have hip hop icons, Series 5 members, and of course Chris, Clay, Martin, and I want to start this question with Kid Creole, because I always kind of felt like the lack of music respect and social respect for our women, has definitely caused a lot of people to kind of not just create a stir, and it's not just a music thing, but we see musically on the flip side, that's one of the reasons why a lot of our women, is not respected to some of these young kids growing up. So my question to, that I'll start off with Creole is this. I mean, it's plain and simple. Like, what's draw the line when it comes to women? And actually, before you answer that question, can you turn down your volume real quick?
Me?
Creole, yeah.
Okay, sure. Sorry about that.
Where do we draw the line with our women? Because our women is at a point right now where it's just like, we need to do something to help out our young ladies out there, try to, help them evolve and grow just like we do.
Well, once again, that's a difficult question to feel. Like, there's no real singular thing that can take place, especially, like, say, we've already established that the cat that got the hit record is the cat who has the biggest voice. So now he has the biggest voice. His platform is large, and people are paying attention. And people are also emulating him or her. So if the person who's on top, who has the biggest voice, the most influence, there's a direct correlation on how that particular person treats women to how the person who listens to their records treats women. for 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 a person with a small voice to try to yell above the crowd and say, "Hey, you shouldn't have women in your videos with scantily clothes. Scantily clothes. You shouldn't be calling women the B word. You shouldn't be showing images that's negative towards women." You kind of get lost in the din of the crowd because your voice is not large enough.
Right.
To try to, like say, you can make comments and make statements and do the things necessary in order to try to enlighten young people and show them that you have to respect women because your mom is a woman, which is an obvious thing, and you wouldn't want nobody to disrespect your mother or your sister, and you can go about doing those things, but it's difficult when the cats that have the biggest voice and the most influence are going in another direction. What we can do is, and this is a theme that's been going on through this whole conversation, is project the images that are important to us, and move forward, and hope that the things that we're doing influences some, because we're not going to capture all, because our voice is small right now, and to try to talk to the person who has the largest voice and the most influence, they don't want to be lectured to, because that's how, let's say we talk to them in a manner of we're trying to school them, but they would take it as we're trying to lecture them, like and in their head they're trying to get theirs. They don't hear the outside voice saying, yo, this is wrong, that's wrong. They don't hear that, because all in their head is, I'm getting mine, I'm counting my dollars, I'm saying, I'm stacking my chips. So it's important to try to put to try to come with positive images for women, because in the long run it's going to benefit our culture. But to try to blanket, to make a blanket statement as to what we can do to try to affect the overall outcome, all we can do is the things that we hold dear to our heart, that we know is legitimate, but is what is good for the culture in the long run, and then just keep moving forward, because our voice is only going to be the influence on the people who see us as people that have a certain credibility, a certain purity in heart, and knowing what we're doing is right, and just try to move forward from there, because our position is like, we don't have the influence that the cats that's making days have. Like how Mel said earlier in our conversation, one record can change all that.
Raheem, what about you, man?
For the most part, I'm inclined to say that. Oh man, I lost my favorite thought. What was the question? The question, please.
Cause y'all know too, at the end of the day, like, there's so much women out there that support not just our hip hop culture, but there's a lot of ill women, that can spit just as well as the men, and of course they don't get the recognition they deserve to a certain degree. And then socially, it just seems like, a lot of our good women is being pushed in by some that's not so good. So, it's kind of like, of course, kind of what Creel was saying, we kind of have to, it's going to be us, even though we may be a drop in the bucket somewhat. But at the same time, like, if we have enough strong men supporting our strong women, I think it's going to teach those other ones that kind of lost their way to, maybe I need to look in the mirror and try to be able to, raise my game up a little bit so I can be able to be a strong woman as well.
Right, but one of the things that I think is the major contributing factor to this problem and the state of hip hop and the state of overall black society is the fact that a lot of time is spent paying a lot of attention to media. Media controls the entire world. And I don't know if everyone is aware of this, but when you audio and visual images are things that enter the subconscious mind without our permission.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, our youth are being programmed. Right? When you are subjected to a certain amount of hours of listening to repetitive or watching repetitive things, after a while, your behavior becomes indicative of that which you see. It's like eating unhealthy food. If you eat unhealthy food, eventually you're going to, become unhealthy, overweight, sick, eventually, So when you listen to unhealthy music, it acts. It is black society. But not to say that there aren't responsible black people, because there are a multitude of responsible black people. But I was, I'm a Barack Obama fan, just like the majority of Black America. But I was very disappointed when I heard Barack Obama make reference to Young Jeezy. And now, not to say that Young Jeezy doesn't have the right to, to make money in the music industry, but if you tell me 5 songs on the radio, your local radio station, that don't promote death or some kind of violence, drugs, misogyny, or
that's a nigga older, but by then their voices may be too small. Absolutely. Kim, Remy, Queen, Latifah, MC Light, Brad, Majega, Eve. Yep. Even Papu submitted that Remy will beat him in a cipher. Absolutely. Oh yeah, the women are killing it. Are you kidding me? What?
Were more aware
yes.
of the fact of this phenomenon, because I think it's phenomenal that people don't, it's obvious to me. It's like Stevie Wonder could see it, no pun intended, but but without completely bashing the artists today, there are a multitude of artists.
Bash them, baby, bash them. Muscle Simmons is focused. Yeah, but you know what? It's like to cut Raheem off. It's like, see, with women, and I debate with people with hip hop with people all the time. Now, just with the demographics alone, consistently, the top rapper in the world should almost always be a woman. Now, with the history of a woman's rapper, right? The most deepest one might have been somebody like Queen Latifah. The deepest one. Queen Latifah. Right. But now you got a rapper like Reddy, which is a great rapper. She be smashing on the mic, but what is she talking about? You see what I'm saying? And so now you got women, like, in other words, in the history of female rap, no woman made a record about having a baby, like the experience of raising a child. No woman made that record. Why not make that record? You see what I'm saying? They still alive. And then the only thing that when they do get deep, they get deeper on this level. Like they'll talk about, the man, you want a man that got a car, a house, and a good job. Well, that's a man with 3 women, so that's a man that gets your happy. As a woman. Right. If you want a man that got something,
see what I'm saying? So, you know, the fact that women don't stand up for themselves in hip hop is one thing, and then all the stuff that you see on TV, the Bad Girls Club and the Housewives of Atlanta, they bickering all the time. It's just horrible. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, and women love to watch it. Like, my lady, she be watching. I'll be having to leave the room before we get to argument because, you know what I mean? Because this is something that she really, you know, they love the engagement, you know, of hearing these women argue and bicker and go back and forth, you know, and their mindset ain't like, well, how could we, you know, how could all us women get together and do better to better our plight as black women in America? They don't do that. They too busy bickering and BSing and trying to find this man that got 2 or 3 other women. I mean, it's like, even the richer women, good girls love what? Bad boys. It's hard. It's hard. The difference between a man and a woman is that a man will pick a woman simply on potential. Like you can go in the restaurant and you'll see the waitress, you know what I mean? You'll marry her because you think that she's a good woman, that she got potential, she's a hard-working woman. Do you think that a woman would go to a restaurant and look at the busboy and marry him? Or just say, hey, he's a hard-working man, I like the way he talks, I like the way he approaches, you know, I like you see what I'm saying? They don't do that. They don't try. Not a woman, right, not a woman of any stature. Exactly. Their whole thing is, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, what women need to do, what you got to do is you got to galvanize your power. It's just like what Beyonce does as far as making a connection with women. And that's on, you know, like the superficial things, your hair done, and, you know, certain things that high language, you know, she like you should put a ring on it. You see what I'm saying? And if a hip-hop woman was to take that same concept, that same theory, or a woman was to take that same concept and that same theory, it'll go a long way because a woman's work is a woman's work. You know what I mean? What a woman's work, that's going to be her work. Whatever she thinks she's worth, that's going to be her work. You know what I mean? If a woman go with a drug dealer, that's her work. If a woman want to find a church going man, that's her work. But if you had to choose between the two, most of the women that define women, they don't pick men on potential. They pick a man, you know, you have to be already made. You can't, you know what I mean? A woman want a guy like me. You know what I mean? I just have to interject one thing. Maybe this says a lot of who I am, but I do love being a stripper. You'll be in charge. Because I mean, and I tell women all the time that the thing that, you know, like you can play women just by the odds. You know what I mean? Okay, I got a good woman, you're a good woman, but I can go out and get 10 women that have your worth, and I can get 5 times more done. That's the bottom line. You see what I'm saying? And that's one of the biggest deficit is that the odds is, and I tell my women all the time, listen, the odds is this. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, I swear to God, I'll go right up the block and I'll get somebody to do 5 times more for 2 times less. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. And they do so when they try to hit them because that's the thing. You know, that's the thing. But when they think about it, that ain't you right. The numbers, you know what I'm saying? Women have an army, but they're not together. They're not together right now. They don't recognize their power. They can't agree on nothing. The housewives of Atlanta, they can't agree on nothing. They're supposed to be intelligent women, you know, well-made up, And if you sit down and listen to 10 minutes of the day figuring about, you know, it's just trivial. It's like it's nothing that, you know, it's nothing that's seen on that platform that moves women forward to where you could even say, you know what, I respect, you know, within every man only comes the respect that he would have for women. But as far as men in general, they never respected women. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, it's so interesting. They just don't rally like that. Like men will rally, women won't rally. They'll rally like, you know, like you said, you know, well, we don't want y'all to press either part. They don't rally. But as far as the basic theories of women's worth, they don't rally on that. They'll just let women for themselves. You know what I mean?
But what's so interesting is what something Raheem mentioned earlier in regards to the visual and the audio, video and audio. It's like that same dynamics you're talking about, Mel, applies to the audio, because what always still to this day baffles me is when I ask a woman, or in most cases a girl, why she advocates or pretty much champions a record that is defamating women, disrespecting women. Mostly the main thing that will come out of their mouth, the common thing was, they're not talking about me. You know? And then when you watch the situation on television, I think it's the same dynamics. It's like, well, okay, are you watching this because of something you can relate to? No, they're not talking about me. But still, yet, this thing is growing and growing and growing. And it's like, well, who are they talking about? Who are they representing? And that's scary to me. That's really, really scary to me. Because it's breaking down. I mean, we could go real deep. Because now, again, what Raheem was talking about with that situation in the 90s, and what I was talking about with the climate of school, what's really deep is the decline and the breakdown of the family. The problem happened when you got the black man out the house. When you came and said, listen, we'll pay you to get 2 incomes out of this house. And now the black man leaves. Now you got more television in. I can go real deep. The whole thing about, hey, Mom, can I eat dinner in my room so I can watch TV? Where the power with the family, any family, but in particular, we're black, we're talking black family, was the dialogue that used to take place at the breakfast and the dinner table. That's right. Where a man and a wife can be able to detect something's going wrong when I'm asking you questions of how was your day, about what went on in school, tests, any of that kind of stuff. Now you can nip it in the butt. But then when you get the TV in the house, back to Raheem with the visual and the audio, because I'm very spiritual, that you got that in there. Now you're breaking that down, the conversation. You get the man out the house. You're tricking the woman into believing you can benefit more if you get him out. You're your own pro-woman. You can do this, whatever the case may be. And now we land where we're landing at right now. I mean, like I said, we all can go deeper. I'm just really broad stroking everything, but that's where we're at.
Amen to that. Amen to that. A couple of quick questions before we let you guys go. And it's kind of like Play mentioned, is like, you know, the household, the family, you know, a lot of family, you know, grew up in a lot of single parents, single moms, single dads, whatever the case may be. You know, it was, you know, some you had them all together, some you didn't. But nowadays with these kids and the fact that, you know, they have so much access to, you know, music, sex to a degree, online or whatnot, easy access.
It's called information.
And a lot of information that, you know, you would think they need but not need. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain things. All that education out there in the world, but they tend to go left and find as many sex places or, you know, different all kind of other things. So my question out there, and I'll kick it with Mel, is when you do have all these kids and there's distractions that they do have, I mean, how do you see, or who puts the onus on the fact that, you know what, we need to kind of curb what's going on musically, and these kids are so easily influenced by it and by what's said, like, you know, do the music or the social media lead these, you know, kids into a not so good life?
Well, you know what? At some point, and I remember we did another interview, and Creola said, you know, like, you know, we can't be hip hop police, and I disagree. Then at some point, you're gonna have to have the hip hop police. You got to save people from themselves sometimes. So sometimes you just can't let a person just be, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna be me, I'm gonna live my life. But your life is going wrong. You know what I mean? All the actually, you know, it's just like how Charles Barkley and them police the NBA because they point out everything that a young player is doing wrong and it filters down to them, and then the next game they'll play that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's nobody that, it's just like how we said earlier in the conference, there's nobody that critiques. It's like, in other words, when Lil Wayne said that Emmett Till comment, 3/4 of hip hop should have fell on him like a ton of bricks. Like, yo, man, what in the F is wrong with you? You see what I'm saying? It really would have been corrected. It wouldn't have been the story that it was, but it's that, you know, you need that. And we need that to build up our work. Well, who are you to say? This is who I am to say. You see what I'm saying? The hip hop doesn't have that. It doesn't have older stations, so therefore there's a disconnect between the older guy and the younger guy in music. So now it's definitely a disconnect between the younger guy and the older guy on the street. And you got to make that connection because you only learn how to mature from dealing with mature people. Right. You can't learn how to grow old by listening to a young man. But he's only going to do it like he's a young man. And that's what we got right now. Older people even trying to look young just to placate the younger guy, and then younger people are the ones that actually are the biggest influence on younger people. So you got everybody like black people right now, we're all like 25. Like everything is like 25 and 30, so that's safe. 50 ain't safe. 50 ain't safe. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing more. I'm 52 years old. I swear to God, if I could have been the way I was right now when I was 20, I swear to God, I mean, I feel, you know, I'm in a little pain sometimes when I get up because I got all diets or whatever, but once the machine get going, everything I'm good. And everything, my mind, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, but kids got to see that. It's like a police them. It's just like the elephant, the bullies, the older bulls, they keep the younger bulls straight. If you keep going one way, you gotta knock them back over. It's the only way. Other than that, and it keeps going right now, all these little cities and towns are gonna be like Dodge City. You can't sell them nothing, you can't call a cop. You know what I mean? People killing people just for whatever. And you know, at some point, you know, we gotta stop raising our kids like these little white boys. You know what I mean? Truthfully speaking, and go back to our roots. You know what I'm saying? Black people don't even beat their kids no more. How do you do that? Now,
Hey Mel, was it not a vibe that was had when we was growing up? Like it takes a village. Like if you was a kid and you got in trouble, your neighbor was gonna be the first one to go tell your mom or your dad exactly what you did, how you did it, etc. Right?
You can't say nothing. You see a kid do something wrong right now, you can't say nothing. You look out the window, you see somebody just close the window and go watch, you know, bad girl stuff. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what I'm saying. Wow. Look, at the end of the day, I love black people. I love it. That's you know, because that's how hip-hop really got started, because we love intermingling with our people, good and bad.
Right.
So we made them part. You know, now we got away from that. We got to get back to ain't nothing wrong with the old ways. Ain't nothing wrong with that because it worked for millennia. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now what's going on right now, that don't work for me. It don't work for me. It don't work for nobody.
And to add on to that, and I'll let Scorp add on to it too, but Mel, you're right on point, because I mean, you know, look at the life that you've lived. I mean, you know, you said you're 52. So, you know, you living it. You living it. You still alive from, you know, all what you was taught, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. You still here, and you still able to teach others exactly, you know what I'm saying, what to steer clear away from or what to go get as far as leaving a legacy. Perfect point. Exactly. Perfect point. Scorpio, add on to it.
Hey, I mean, you know, that's where it's at. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, just getting back to the industry part of it. The industry, you know what I mean? I mean, they have so much to do with this, you know what I mean? You know, definitely a lot of things broke down in families, homes, black people, and stuff like that. But once, you know, you can't put out a certain type of music, you know what I mean? Because that's where a lot of the education that came from, by being hit, like with the Public Enemies and the cats like that came after us. You know, whenever you're able to put something in music and make it cool, and take it off of that preachy teaching, so to speak, what they want to say. That element is just gone. You know what I mean? And that's the easiest way and the quickest way to get to the masses. The quickest way to put out a record so people in Germany, Japan can hear. And, you know, believe it or not, you know what I mean? We all travel abroad a lot. You'd be surprised just how the American influence has abroad. You know what I mean? Because I can remember at one point, you know what I mean, that they didn't even have guns and stuff like all through the UK and stuff like that. Now they got like a mob mentality, like the teenagers going around with the guns, the posses, the whole thing. You would think you were in America at some part, you know what I mean, you know, across abroad. So a lot of it is always going to relate back to that music. And like Rob said, you know what I mean, being with that prison system, you know what I mean, a lot of cats been hearing about that for years. And you can almost see how that played a direct response of not letting, you know what I mean, real rappers, different rappers in, you know what I mean, that got messages. And until that really able to cut through, you know what I mean, we could do a talk show or we could, you know, come on TV after something crazy happened, we could speak about it, but you know, like anything else, after that talk show and after that, 2 weeks later, it's over. And you gotta get back in the music. That's how it is. And, you know, and that's the quickest way because, you know, realistically, a lot of them cats, they ain't studying us no more. And that's okay. You know why it's okay? Because we still got enough people, we got enough fans worldwide that can still keep us abroad. You know what I mean? That can keep us afloat and that we can still live that lifestyle that we still dream about. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, yes, for the other side of the coin is actually a great time to be in the industry. You know what I mean? As far as business wise, you know what I mean? If you got the business together, I'm talking about that. You got the business together, you got the right managers, you got the challenges, right lawyers in place, and then you can walk away with a great situation. You're gonna get what you deserve. You know what I mean? Unlike when we started, you know what I mean? You know, it's there. But right now, it's actually the best time to be in the industry, like economic-wise. So, you know, I think, you know, a lot of classic cats, you know, we right there. So it's just, you know, it's a matter of just, you know, getting in and doing something. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Rio,
Rio, you want to add on to this?
Because a lot of it.
Rio, you want to go ahead and add on to it as well?
Sure. To talk about what Mel was saying about the hip hop police, he makes a point with that. But I still firmly believe that that in order for your voice to be heard, right, it's a top down scenario. It's not a bottom up scenario. You don't talk from the bottom up because then you seem like you're a hater. You have to be in a position because what Mel said is true. I say that statement that these people made about the Till, this rapper made about the Till scenario. I mean, if all things being equal, of course, hip hop was supposed to come down on him and what are you doing right there? You know what I'm saying? And he was supposed to have been a little bit more fearful to say something so derogatory. And from my understanding, the point that the statement that he made, he was the sexual prowess. He made a comparison with his sexual prowess to Emmett Till being murdered. So legitimately, 3/4 of the rap should have came down on him. But that's a top-down scenario. When you start talking about saying, okay, this rapper over here made this comment and he would need to so and so because legitimately blah 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 blah. You don't have the authority, or if you're not in a position of authority, where like say if you're mainstreaming, if you're not doing that, then you just some cat on the fringe hating. And I firmly believe this, because even like I remember when NWA first came out, it was doing all that F the police and all this stuff. I said back then that in a minute they had on so much back, right? That in a minute they will fall off their own weight because you just can't keep throwing negative out there, regardless of whether or not what you're doing is winning. You still can't keep throwing negative things out there because eventually you will fall off your own weight, and that's what happened with NWA. That's what happened with Lil Wayne. That's what happened with Rick Ross. It's the same thing. Nobody's out there policing them, but after a while they took on so much negative water that they just sunk up their own weight.
your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I agree with it, what everyone was saying, basically. And, I mean, I think that it's all indicative of the fact that we are not in control. All we could control is our personal world. And hopefully our personal world and the way that we carry ourselves and the things that we do will resonate and transcend beyond us and influence others to do, greater things. And I think that, when society places great emphasis on going to school, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to school, and getting a great education and getting a great job and working for someone for the rest of your life, enabling your employer to do all of the leisurely things that they always envision doing with the people that they care about. Meanwhile, you're at your office, weekends, holidays, overtime, whatever, to ensure that their yacht notes are overpaid. Are paid. So, for that reason, that has, especially when the black man was taken out of the household, that forced the black woman to have to work more than one job in order to make ends meet. And because of that, if they had children, their children were subjected to the street.
Right.
Because, latchkey, I was a latchkey kid, but luckily, there was something in me that was, I had a musical interest. So I didn't really, get involved in street activities to that degree to where I got arrested and, all of that. But it goes back to parenting. But this whole conversation is like this could be a whole series of talks because
you ain't never lying.
We need to have the audience chime in to get their response, young and old. And I would really be interested to hear what some of you young listeners' opinions of what we're discussing here today, because it's obvious that you are the future, and there used to be a time, like everyone agreed, that if someone saw you doing something wrong in the street, your neighbor or whomever, if they were older than you, more senior than you, they would put you in your place. You would stop that. But
that's right.
Now, the way that things are today, too many people mind their business. And that's all right. That's all right to a degree. But if this is your community, all right, if you live in this community and you see people doing things that are counterproductive to the growth and the progression of your community, like for example, I lived in a project in the Bronx called Lambert House, and as I became of age, like 35, before I actually moved out of Lambert houses, I wouldn't allow anyone to sell drugs in my building. All right, you can't sell drugs in my building. I'm not trying to stop you from eating. I'm not trying to stop you from feeding your family, but especially because of the harsh nature of the element that the kind of drugs that this particular individual was selling, which was heroin, the kind of customers that brings, you know, that was kind of, I'm like, man, listen, your mother lives on the same floor as I do. Imagine if, you know, one of your fiends that you serve every day doesn't have money to cop from you and he needs credit, but you deny him credit. And he sees your mother coming in the building, but he doesn't know
Absolutely.
she's your
Like I
mother,
said,
or
it brings up a great point. You can have someone grow up in the hood, be very productive, successful. You know, someone grow up in the suburbs, or the richest area, and end up, well, you know, 45.
That'll be on your conscience. So we have to act more responsibly and police ourselves and our communities, because if we don't do that, I mean, we're on the path of destruction. But there are some glimmers of hope, and there are some very intelligent and progressive people in our communities. And what we really need is unity.
Absolutely.
That's what we really need. Because
Absolutely.
there is no I in team.
Yep. Yep. And Rob, just to kind of add on what you were saying, man, it's nothing for us to turn this into a series and involve our listeners, and you know, people can call in and stuff like that, so we can definitely make sure that we you know, go over that in the near future, so we can be able to have this voice and allow you know, these people, these young people, to call in, and just, you know, we can hit them with exactly what kind of game we giving right now, because there's so much traffic, so much love, a lot of action going on through social media. So it is a blessing to be able to have you guys on. And in closing, and before I let you guys go, and I'm gonna start off with Play. Like, you know, Chris, you blessed me during my 5-year stretch last year with an interview, and you know, you've always been, you know, a person that I watched as far as, you know, someone that I took inspiration from. Somebody that I just kind of looked up to without even, you know, physically, like, you know, being your homie. You've always been the homie, like, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of different reasons, you know, because I was just like y'all, grew up in, you know, not so good environment, you know what I'm saying, had one parent in the house, you know, but, you know, what helped me get through is a lot of good music and a lot of good movies and a lot of good memories that came with it. And I think a lot of people at the end of it all should really just take, you know, I kind of feel like there's a lot of people take the God-given talent you guys have for granted to a degree, but there's a lot of us out here worldwide that do appreciate exactly what you do, how you do it, and what you stand for that bigger picture. Because I see all you guys as legacy builders instead of the you know, the here now, gone tomorrow type of thing. You know what I mean? So Play, I definitely appreciate you for that. I think we're still good. I think Play, you still good, right?
I'm sorry. I had it on.
Yes, we need to definitely come a lot of English
on mute because I didn't want to disturb anybody's flow. But what I was saying, man, is that, you know, all you guys is inspiration to me, and I don't. I'm not into telling people what they want to hear anymore. You know,
Absolutely.
So my thing is, man, is like, you know, this is a dream come true from a shorty way back. And when I was telling my peeps what I was going to do today, forget it. But I come from a background. A lot of people, some people know me, you know, with New York, my New York humbles. My heroes weren't the heroes that the kids have today. My heroes was Nicky Bonds and God Fisher and some Alpos and, you know, Fat Cats and all of that. I mean, I risked my life just to be under the same roof and in the building. I know all the Armory jams, all the stuff you guys played at. I was there. I remember the day that first time anybody really had a chance to see any members of the Furious Five since y'all's big success blowing up when Mel and Scorp came to a Brooklyn Armory thing. No one expected y'all to come. Y'all walked in, stood, watched the acts that was on the stage. I'll never forget this. Then y'all guys got up on the stage. Everybody with bated breath, like, what they gonna say? They gonna bust around? They gonna do what's up? You know, Mel, Scorp, or Mr. Death. And all Mel said was, this is what real MCs are supposed to look like, and dropped the mic and was out. And I'll never forget that. That was cool to me. But what I wanted to say was that out of everything we discussed, especially, the thing that hones in the most, and I had posted it and got a lot of responses, positive responses, was what God turns into good, what man means for bad. And when Lil Wayne did what he did irresponsibly with the Emmett Till piece, the one great thing that did come out of that is he brought attention to history that a lot of generations or a lot of this generation didn't even know about. It forced cats to have to be like, who's Emmett Till? And not only did they understand the disrespect that he did, but now it brought Black history back into their lives to just see the history of what we've gone through. And if it took that kind of unorthodox teaching for it to happen, at least it happened, what cats had to learn. So that's what's amazing to me. But on that note, like I said, I just want to have the honor, when Kid and I first came out with our first album, we dedicated it to the memory. I don't know if you guys remember Cowboy.
I do remember, brother. Yes, I do.
Yeah, and all of that, man. So it's this is an honor. I hope to, get a chance to fellowship with you guys in person, in the near or far future. But I just want, on behalf of so many New York, around the world, trust me when I say thank you. Because I still teach my students that the best #1 rap record ever made in history was The Message. But my favorite is Super Rappin'. But the greatest rap record is The Message. Real talk.
All right, no doubt. And in closing, you guys, Mel, Scorp, Creole.
Yeah, I want to. This is a story. I just want to say, a lot of these said, thank you for that play, man. That's respect, man. One love from the heart. You know what I mean? I just want to say a lot of things we say that's out of our control. But one thing that's in our control is July 5th. We're going to be in Howard in D.C., on the stage, Furious 5, and July 6th, we're going to be at B.B. King. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that's in our powers that we can control. So if anybody going to be in the area, wherever, man, come check out, the Legends put it down, and you can see some of the stuff what Clay was talking about. Obviously, we're going to be doing all of the classics, that ever came out. And if you were still interested in getting at us, just email us at, the Furious 5, that's DA, Furious 5 at gmail.com. So I have to do the same as love, but hey.
No. What BBQs y'all going to be at? BB King's the one in New York or the one in D.C.?
In New York. We're going to be at the one in New York on July 6th. And we're going to be at Howard on July 5th.
All right, you might see me. I'm going to be in New York around that time. I'm supporting Devastating Tito with his Legends thing he's doing on June 22nd. So I might hang around to do that. But yeah, I want to support. Real talk.
No doubt. It's beyond a blessing to be able to have the 5 of you guys here. And, like I said, about Chris, Mel, Scorp, Creole, Rod, I mean, it's I feel the same sentiment that Play has, from a perspective from this guy. I've not just looked up to you guys on a music level. I mean, to me, it was always a good inspiration to be able to, tell that somebody is not just spitting lyrics from the gut, but also, have that passion, that conviction, and that, God-given talent to be able to, be the voice of a lot of us. And there's a lot of people that feels the same way like I do, not just in the States, but worldwide. And, not just for you guys, but also for Play. It's beyond a blessing to be able to have the 5 of you guys on at the same time. And we do need to turn this into a series where we can be able to allow these young people to understand as much game as we possibly can. So we're going to have to work on something. And I messaged Play this too. And I told him, man, we are our kids are in dire straits. We need to make sure that we do everything we can for these young kids to be, not just to be somebody, but to feel good about themselves. Because you can be all you can to a degree, right? But if you can't feel good yourself and you can't really just say, hey, you know what? I'm a positive little kid trying to do it. It's going to be hard for these guys and little girls to be able to, try to hold down legacy. So, I'm glad we're teachers and we're going to continue to be teachers to help these kids out. And I'm glad you guys are here celebrating 35 years. And I couldn't be more prouder to be able to have this kind of dialogue with you guys.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. You know, and I just like to close. This is Raheem. I just like to, in closing, say that rap music is a very influential platform for people who didn't necessarily know that they had a platform to exercise their voice to use. And every country that has openly embraced rap music also has some semblance of their own, some brand of their own rap music. And that says that they too have a yearning desire to exercise their voices. And the people who control the industry are afraid that people all over the world will unite. Because music is a universal language.
Yeah.
Yep.
And music is supposed to feed the soul. And on that note, make soul music.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right. Fellas, it's been beyond.
Let's do it. Welcome, Darryl.
Let's do it. Hey, blessings to you guys, and I will definitely be in contact with you all. So thanks again for everything. Clay, Mel, Creole, Raheem, Scorpio. Much love to you all.
See you guys in New York or in Howard. All right. One love. All right, man. One love.
Man, told y'all that was a powerful interview. Powerful. Powerful panel. Those are some of the best artists in the world, giving their take on what's going on with music right now. Music is absolutely a universal language, most definitely.
I was sitting on the corner just waiting for time. And when I realized I was the king of the rhyme, I got on the microphone. And what did you see? The rest was my legacy. I was born to be the king of the bebop swing, to have stands in my dad's big diamond ring, the only castle in the yacht who made it go. Cause rap is the game that I control. I'm like Shakespeare, I'm a pioneer, because I made rap something people wanted to hear. See, before my reign, it was the same old same, but to the bar with the bar, that street talk came. So if you ever let me make this clear, if you ever think that we're stepping out of here, you ever think you're getting up, down, around, or in, you better think again, my friend, because the door is closed and we're in town, and the only place you can go is down. Well, I'm
Oh yeah, 80s rap still hits. Always.
The MC's gonna do now. It's gonna be a sorta. And here's my plan. You won't even get bread and water, my man. Gonna put you on the rack like a beer flag. Put another whack rapper tied to your back. And if you wanna hang yourself out to dry, it's the beautiful roundup in the sky. I'm the carry out kids when my triggers the cock. I'll be carrying out bodies, strippers to rock. Carrying out $1 billion in my pockets of hand. For to carry out orders from no man. Cause anything you wanna do, I already did. You used to see me rock the house when you was a kid. But in my MC school, my class was back. And tricks were for kids, so I left your ass back. The bow-legged brother, there'll never be another. I buy a mansion for my mother. A 24/7, a two-late smile, the head crack.
Your parents banned it?
Look at my
What? That's crazy.
Come on, now you know just who I am and what I do, because I'm in demand, because I look good. Do you hear, my man? And if you can't take that, you jump your own head. You one girl at a time, get an MC. So how could you think of that you rank with me? If you only did your homework, you would surely find a way to
Your dad passed. He loved music. Oh,
it's the only girl that you could take of mine. It's the one that I left way behind. It's what you keep. You're petty. The music is trash. You need to go to the bank and get some cash.
Yeah, music is really big in my family as well.
When I see you on the stage, I'ma blow you away. You're right. There is no difference between me
You know, have my cousin on here too. He's an amazing, amazing vocalist. Like, good job. And he sang all over the country. I know you did. I know you did. I know you was sneaking and playing it for sure.
Fighting your moves, taking face for war, saying everyone else is perpetrating the fraud. But you're nothing but a clone of a flesh and bone. Like trying to play clone on the microphone. But I tell you about a night, and you know
Folks did not like rap when it came out. They were not feeling hip hop. It has such a powerful message.
God that you can be like us, then God was great, and God was true when it tried to show you how to be like you, but you still didn't get where you wanted to go. When you gathered in the group and got your own show, cause we're out to solve the force won't survive for eternity. The soft is alive, you forgot the words of your creator, and now he's made you a perpetrator. Forever in the world of you and the girl, a few grams in a pipe to make your head swirl. You must spread the words of the master teacher, undenied by the rhymes in the streets of Easter. The words of a gift we will never fraud.
Just a fact, one of my mom's customers at the bank, she worked at gave her an Easy cassette tape. I don't think she knew what it really was, so she gave it to me. Hilarious.
And I'ma give you a show so you can take a grade. Leave behind all your fame and wealth so you can say one rhyme and bury yourself. I may stop a step, but you know I'm blessed with the will to make sense of all this mess. I'm the power of the sun that shines in the sky, and I'm the only MC that'll never die. You rock and don't stop till you hit the top. But when you see Melon, you're gonna have to drop. Rock, rock, rock. And not only that, step off because you gotta get lost because you know you're lost.
Damn, Buzz. With about 11 minutes to roll. Whew. Kind of takes a lot out of you though, and but not necessarily in a bad way, in a very good way. I wanna thank icons. I mean, Melly Mel, the Scorpio, the Kid Creole, the Raheem, to of course Chris Play Martin of Kid and Play for just setting a lot of history in motion. I mean, 5 people at the same time, interviews, the vibe was ill, it was real talk, it was real game spit, and it's something that I feel like should be done on a regular basis, and I feel like it's a beautiful thing that we can be able to be the first ones through the waves to be able to do it, and it's a good look. It's a good look. So with 10 minutes left, I mean, let me go ahead and get some thoughts. So if y'all want to call in quickly, dial the number 949-270-5912. You can press the number 1 button. You can be heard. But I mean, say what you want. This was definitely radio/legacy history, and I don't think nobody could really take this away from everybody that was touched and or moved by this whole hip hop panel of good vibes. So you know what I'm saying. Let me go ahead and add Denia, put a mic on her. You are on the AM Buzz. What's up, baby?
Good morning. Wow, that was a powerful panel because they touched on so much. Like Baby Girl and I were going back and asking questions. We're like, oh, they already answered that. Perfect. They're answering that now, and it was really cool that they had the same vibe that we do in terms of what's going on today. And we are younger, so but I still know what music used to be like, what hip hop used to be like. And I'm glad they touched on the whole Emmett Till situation with Lil Wayne, and all that kind of stuff. But I think the biggest problem is the fact of, and I think one thing Baby Girl was talking about was like we should try to teach hip hop in school, which I think would be great. Use it as creative writing so people can see how music correlates into life, But of course, well, I'm not saying they won't do that, but there needs to be pushed for that because these kids aren't creative anymore. They're sitting there too.
Yeah, but it's got to be done right. It's got to be done right. It's got to be done with, and it's got to be like a universal thing, like, because I mean, we were all kind of, we not necessarily hating how it is now. We just hating the lack of people, educated to the fact that there is more outside the lines than just what you see in front of you. Go back and look at history. Take a look at the Furious Five. Take a look at Kid and Play. Take a look at Public Enemy. Take a look at some of these people that actually paved the way. If it wasn't for any of them, if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be hearing what you're hearing now. Like it or not. I mean, from these artists. So you have to at least kind of get to that point where people gotta have an open ear to it all. Let me go ahead and add Gab, put him on. AM Buzz.
Now you had a point when you said
what's
add,
up?
add when you said add it to schools.
So say it one more time.
You had a point when you said add it to schools because
Yeah.
they could add it as a study course actually because it's been scientifically proven that you remember stuff better when you study with music or when you make a song out of what you're studying.
So what they did, so what actually I'm gonna play tomorrow before we go live on Next Legacy in the evening. What I'm gonna do is actually gonna play an interview that there was an artist called Pinky Ring because currently she is teaching. Well, not currently, which before all this, she was teaching hip hop all over the world. She's a hip hop ambassador, so she's literally going to different countries and teaching them the importance of hip hop and teaching them how to write music and poems and all of that. And she actually did that in Chicago as well. So what they've done is they've turned it into a creative writing course.
Like the Black Parent Anthem is you need to know your homework like you know them songs. But if they turned their homework into a song, they would remember it better.
Absolutely. Yep. That's very, very true. Very, very true. Alexis, we're almost done with this, and then we'll have a little bit more commentary before we let you guys go.
Nice long interview. It was, and I swear, dude.
That's because that requires you not to say anything if you're not studying with us.
And I think I did all right.
Yeah, you did. Great job, man.
I think I did all right. I mean, it's always good when you have, 5 people that, kind of like was vibing on the same page. So, it was always good. Let me add Baby Girl into this as well. Baby Girl mic'd up and on the AM Buzz. What's up, babe?
What's up, babe? What's up, y'all? Oh my God. Okay. Deny was right about London. We was going back and forth in the chat room. I was like, oh, they said this. Oh, they said this. But, right. The thing that I'm glad that they touched on was like when he asked, can you name 5 songs that doesn't talk about the or doesn't talk about, sex, drugs, and violence? And I was like, no, I don't know. I don't even know one. Like, I don't listen to radio like that. Just like, it really has you thinking about stuff in the music you get into that's going on, something overlooked. And I was like, damn, right. And then the thing with the meeting, I was like, really? So I was just like, okay. The fact that you have 5 icons on, okay, that's okay. I was still a little tongue-tied of that. I'm so glad you didn't like it because I was like, can I have your autograph from the camera? I really would have had. Oh my gosh, wow. So, Brand, you did.
No, it's good to be able to have 5 people come together and get it done, and Christopher Clay Martin, he was the later addition, and he was all for it. Being able to have this done, and just being able to have that kind of dialogue was important. I feel to hip hop as far as getting it from pioneers that helped, birth this legacy that we always talk about when it comes to hip hop. So it was important to me. So it was good that we was able to get them all at the same time, and it was good that we was able to add play, and it was good that we were able to get as honest of feedback on music and social goings on than you'll probably ever get on any interview on any station. So it was a solid look. Let me add Sweet Aaron onto this as well on the AM Buzz. What's up, sweetheart?
How are you? Bye. How are you? Listen, you're playing. I really enjoyed the interview. I really did.
I mean, it was totally awesome. And for me to listen to that, and every time Floyd would talk, I'd be like, oh my God, all I could think about was music.
Oh my God.
He really made a good point as far as, as far as the whole Lil Wayne thing, and the positive that came out of it. That, now people who know who he is, now Black History, even though it took such a harsh and fucked up way for it to come out, at least now Black History, shine through. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed the entire interview, and you did a wonderful job, Brand. And you really responded, and it really helped you good.
Well, shout out to them because they made it 100 times easy. So it was real dope. Let me add Young Army into the mix also. Young Army, you were mic'd up, sir.
Morning,
Hey, Buzz. Good, yo.
That's winning.
Hey, shout out to Furious 5 and Chris Play Martin, man. That was a very intelligent conversation. I learned a lot. I didn't really get to catch them dudes when they first called in. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. But as far as shit I was catching, they was dropping game, man. Like we definitely gotta get them dudes back on. And like I don't know who said it, but the little daughter, the series is a good little idea.
Yeah.
Like because we can talk about that shit for hours. So
I think one thing that was crucial that was they were talking about how back in the day, music videos used to have a school behind them, and you do not see that anymore. And I was like thinking, I haven't seen a school in a music video in so long, unless it's a high school, unless it's a high school video, and it's never in a hip hop video. So I think that was something that was cool. And that's in the meeting. That is something that I was talking to Baby about. She's like, what was that about? I'm like, I've heard about that because Michelle Alexander has this book called The New Jim Crow, and they talk about the meaning and the industrial prison system and how music is connected. So that was really good. I think we should definitely talk about that more, expand on that a little bit.
I just kind of feel like this was beyond good, and it's just like I said, with the 5 of them being on, and just be able to catch that vibe that they all had, and just being able to have these conversations. The cool thing that I was thinking about was the real game that Mel and Play was kind of kicking towards females, not just in the business but just in general. Like it kind of like we want to help our women, but our women tend to want to go rock out with some of these drug dudes or some of these thugs that they say, and it's just kind of hard trying to help a woman that can't be helped to a certain degree. So if women can lead examples by themselves, and it's just like I don't know who it was. I think it was Raheem or it was Creole. One of them said it was just like, wow, what happened to the woman that's writing about her experience when she was pregnant or something like that. Like to me, I thought that was dope because nobody's done that. Like he said, nobody's done that. And to me, like if a female did that and has had as much passion as he had about that other women can be able to be inspired by that, then that's a whole different lane. You know what I mean? So,
Exactly. Right. But I think, and the biggest thing that I've seen with women is that, like, the reason they go for the drug deals and all that stuff is because they're so enthralled by all the flashy cars and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think a lot of women don't realize how quickly that can be taken away and your name is mud. Like, and I think there's this misconception that, once you're dealing with a rapper or a drug dealer, you're going to get this and that. Well, when that guy goes to jail, well, that goes bye-bye. And you're left with a car note, mortgages, whatever, bills, court fees, and all that stuff. Even if he gets out, you're still stuck with that man. So is it really worth it?
Let me say this. It's like, one of them said, that good girls love bad boys. Well, if you think about it, when we're little girls, what do our parents normally tell us? Oh, he's treating you bad. Well, that means he likes you. You know what I mean?
I never heard that shit. I know what you're talking about.
He's being mean to you, so that means he likes you.
Well, let me say this to what Aaron's saying. When I was growing up, I didn't heard that same thing to a sense. Like if a boy hits you, then that means he probably likes you or something like that. Or
that comes from kindergarten and grade school.
But if he, hit you on the leg or punch you on the arm or something like that, he likes you. But to me, when you grow up and that punch will turn to hugs or turn to something else. And it's different than that though. So, it's as you grow older, you kind of understand like, yo, I don't think I should punch her arm. I think I need to kiss her on the cheek or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a different deal. So, as you grow up, you get over that. It evolves into something else. So it's not just that. I mean, I wasn't heavily influenced by that because I think every guy or every girl, like, as a little kid, I was like, ew, girls, like, I don't want to play with them, you know what I'm saying? And then you grow up and it's a whole different deal. Same thing with girls. Ew, I don't want to hang around some icky boy. Like, that's how it goes. But as you grow up and get older, you evolve from that. Especially if,
not everybody does, Bran.
But
who doesn't? Who doesn't? You still gonna hit women? Like, please.
You know what though? That whole conversation could get real deep.
Aaron does suffer in the fact that maybe because.
Say it again.
That whole conversation could get real deep because okay, when the boy will hit the girl and stuff like that, and really does mean he likes her.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, when you grow up, right, and you got these homophobic people, but they're really on the down low.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you think about it, the little boy hits the little girl because he doesn't understand his feelings, right? The homophobic person is so angry against gay and lesbian people because they don't understand their feelings.
Yeah, I've never even thought of it in that sense. I thought it was more of a sense of like, this is where abuse starts because you allow these little boys or little girls to hit one another as a child, and then they grow up thinking that that's the way that you show affection. So now they're doing the same shit at 9 and 12.
And you grow up with one extreme or the other, right? A man will grow up and say, oh, well, my daddy hit my mama, so that's what I'm going to do. Or he'll grow up with the complete other extreme and let women walk all over him because he don't want to hurt them.
Yep.
Or a woman will grow up and be in an abusive relationship and think that's love. Or she'll go to the whole other extreme and either close herself off completely or she'll become an abuser so she don't get abused.
Yep. But again, the whole situation stems from this is what people say is okay when they're little. When you tell a child that it's okay to hit someone and put them on and physically put their hands on someone because that's showing affection, they get that in their head like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do, then I'm gonna just keep doing that. That I care. And now we have a situation where we have 45 and told little boys it's okay to grab women on wherever they want to. You got little kids that do this shit right after. I was like, how old was that kid? 6? Oh, baby, I'm so sorry you losing your child early. So I'm so sorry, but you have to lose your child. You did what to my daughter? You know what I'm saying? Please, I could never. Like, I'm just very happy that my God that is trans and incredibly protective of her. Now, we would have gone to jail already. So it's just really, it's crazy that this is what we go through.
Yeah.
It's insane that this is what is okay. You know what I mean? It's insane that this is what people think is acceptable behavior. It's insane that it's in the White House.
Because a child's first impression of how they should be treated or how they should treat people comes from
The
their
parents.
parents and their aunts and uncles, grandma, grandpa.
Yes.
Feel me?
Yes. Absolutely. It definitely comes from home. And if you can't have that conversation about love and respect and giving back, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think the biggest problem that we have when it comes to music, and well, not just hip hop, but music in general, in the music business, and this goes from R&B artists as well, this goes from rock artists as well. But the women will get with these guys, and they see the money and the cars and everything, and so they'll stay in those relationships just not to lose that and not to lose their image.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to at some point talk to Kelly Rowland about how she finally got out, because something told me in that song "Girls" that was a real story.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know specifically it was about her, but I knew it was a real experience. I didn't know it was about her. And I would love to interview her and ask her, like, what did you do to get out of it? What made you? What was your final straw that you were just done with the situation? How many times did you leave before that? All those kinds of things. What was your childhood like to make you think that you had to grow up in that mess? You know, so it's a lot that people don't realize when it comes to this type of stuff, because, like I said, it stems early. And then what happens too is that the schools will take it seriously enough. The schools didn't start taking violence in school serious enough until people started coming to school with guns. And it's like, oh, maybe we should talk to the kids.
Yeah.
But by then, there's been a girl's been sexually assaulted by the whole damn football team. And, you know, or this kid's been sodomized or whatever. Like, there have been so many things that these schools have ignored for so long.
Yeah. Like, wasn't it wasn't that boy in second grade when his classmate did that to him?
I think so. Yeah. Yep. Second grade. These are little kids that are doing this craziness. And you got to think of what could they have learned at that age to think that was okay. You know, I think a lot of people just don't get how vulnerable children can be, and that's the biggest issue. They don't think about what they're doing. They're just like, oh, well, this is a good idea or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they don't think about the consequences of their actions for real. They just think about what it's supposed to be like, and, you know, this is what I was taught. This is how I went through in school. So if you're going through it, oh, just suck it up. That whole thing of sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There are kids right now that are traumatized from verbal and physical abuse, whether it be from the school or from home. And yes, it happens at school. And yes, the principals will act like nothing's happening. They can keep their ranks at their schools, because some of the way that these teachers talk to these students is despicable.
And then sometimes it'll happen at school, and then it'll be worse at home.
Exactly. So they wonder why these kids are sitting up there and taking their lives. It's because they feel like they have no out. You go to school and you're tortured. You go online and you're tortured, and then you go home and you're tortured. What's the point of living at that point? Or so they think. You know, I'm lucky that I've been able to work with them. If you look in the photo that I have of it it's from a suicide prevention and anti-bullying organization, Walla Charity. We filled the place to capacity. There was 1,000 people that came out to support this organization because of the fact that so many people have gone through depression and bullying and attempted suicide on multiple occasions. So, it's just so crazy to hear that to hear that point where we talk about, well, little boys think that it's cute to hit girls. Like, and I've seen it. And there's a live video right now where I think the kids are maybe 3 or 4. The girl is telling him to go away, and he keeps on coming at her, and all the parents are like, "Oh, that's cute," and she's like, "I told him to go." Like, they're pushing him off, and he just keeps coming. He keeps coming, trying to grab on her, and she's just like, "No." But the parents think it's cute. They think it's funny. But that's
And
what
it's not.
if did nobody smack his hand and pop him in the head, he's gonna keep doing that. He's only 6, when he's 10, when he's 15, and when he's 20. And if the boy his head busted because some girl's gonna pop him dead in his mouth, or he's gonna wind up in jail. It's either one of the two. That's usually how that works. You either get a girl that's tired of it when they're about 7 or 8 and they pop you or throw you against the fence and choke you, or or you get this young boy that sits up there and is like 15 years old and being incredibly violent.
Or you get shows like Snapped.
Yeah, that part, which is even crazier. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about that situation. Whew. I'm gonna do a deep dive at some point, but I'm gonna have to look for that. That's a lot.
Kids are getting younger and getting sexually active way younger than we ever thought. Talking about sex in ages I never even dreamed of it. Maybe there should be something where parents need to stop saying that it's okay if a boy hits you. Because if you're sitting there, I've literally had 6-year-olds coming to me and talking about sex. I'm like, whoa, how do you even know about this? But the fact that we do have that now. Oh yeah, I had a 6-year-old when I was as a Boys and Girls in my first year, I believe. And we were working or whatever, and somehow I don't remember how it got there. But she mentioned something that had to do with sex. So I was like, hold on, you're how old? Oh, we had that conversation with your parents. This is not working out. What's going on? But because this kind of stuff is happening, maybe those conversations should change into, don't work for this shit.
I'm just saying being mean. Period.
But I'm saying the same thing. Like, it shouldn't be okay. Like, so we've been taught to blow it off, and but it shouldn't be okay. You've been taught to blow it off, or it's boys being boys, or whatever the situation may be, and maybe that is the problem.
And so what Brandon was saying is, yes, we do evolve with that, but at the same time, as little girls, it stays in our subconscious, and we remember that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, kids aren't as dumb as people think, and I think that's what a misconception is. The fact of, like, boys hitting, teasing, whatever the situation may be, is blown off of the school system. I know this for a fact. I went through this mess when I was in school. It's good, just let it go. Oh, just let it go, blah, blah, whatever. It's okay because, because the guy, or because he's popular, or whatever the situation may be. They will let it go.
Can I say this?
Let it go to a point.
It never got to the point when, especially Aaron, you and I, when we were growing up, Gabby too, Deny you too for the most part. Baby girl, Army, y'all get a little younger. But it never got to the point where it was like, okay, well, it didn't get as violent, I guess you could say, as it is now. I mean, it didn't get to the point where, now when they do it in a way that's way aggressive than you would ever think about. So it's a whole different deal now versus back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and I agree with you, but I'm just saying that when you're constantly as being a little girl being told that when a boy is mean to you at school, it's he likes you. He does that because he really likes you and he doesn't know how to tell you. You know what I mean? That gets into your psyche as a little girl.
But Aaron, I mean, it all depends on how a woman or a man or a boy or a girl thinks. But to me, I always feel like this, or I felt like this, like, girls did the same thing. Like, they didn't know how to express themselves, so they would either hit or they would whatever. Like, it was done differently too. But that never stayed in my subconscious as I grew up, because as I grew up, I started hearing people say, you gotta treat women right. You got to make sure that you do, not just people, but older folks. My mom, my grandma. Hey, you got to make sure you treat women right, just like a woman has to treat a man right. Like you hear that as a child, but you grow up. You hear that as a child, but you grow up, and you hear a lot more than you did when you were like 4 or 5 or 6. I'm just saying. So you hear the mature, you hear the mature kind of vibe as far as how it goes down. So I just want to point that out, just to point out that it's a little deeper than that staying in your brain. Well, for me personally, than it was when I was younger. When I was younger, like I said, I ain't like girls. Now I do. So hey.
You like, but I think, but the thing is, right? But the thing is that like it gets deeper than that though, because the fact is like now it's like when I was speaking with Ethical Matters, I was talking to my kids about this, and the amount of boys that I had that were okay with putting their hands on the girl was just mind blowing. They're like, well, if a girl messes up, I gotta check her, put her in place. I'm like, wait a second, no, this is not what we do. These are 12, 13, 14-year-old boys. And I'm trying to tell them, I'm like, that's absolutely wrong. I don't know who told you that, but that'll get your ass locked up. What is, where is it coming from that it is okay, like, if a girl goes down, I gotta check her. So it's looking a smack in the face or whatever the situation may be. That's what the problem is. These kids are learning this way too young.
I agree.
That's huge issue. And so the fact that having it getting to the point where they have that conversation of, okay, when you're 4 and you're hearing somebody, okay, it's something different, but when you're 7, that has to stop, because it's going to build into an idea of you think you can do this, and it becomes a problem, and then there becomes a problem in school. And like I said, and the way these schools deal with the situation is horrendous. And that's why we have the problems we have now, because for so many years, they put it under the table. They let it go. They just said, okay, just sit down, just don't talk to them or whatever. But they never addressed the issue. And so now you got all these girls that are pissed out because they've been ignored.
That's actually a good point.
For so many years. And that's why hold on. And that's why you have so many girls that are violent now, because they've had to quit because they were the girl that had to be the bigger person. They had to hold all that anger inside of them when they're getting hit on by these boys. I'm talking about physical. Like I remember.
Deny.
Really good point.
I want to say when I was 7, I had one of my friends who was a girl was really short. She was like maybe almost a foot shorter than me. There was a 9-year-old boy that kept harassing her, to the point of I had to be the one to step in. We went to the teacher. Teacher did nothing. I had to be the point to step in. I'm 7. This kid's 9. I had to be the one to step in. Do this kid against the fence of the shirt, because he would not leave this girl alone. Because this teacher would not. They don't do nothing. They just let it go. They're like, oh, no big deal. But this girl is like,
it goes into the whole thing where it's like, he loves me. That's why I'm gonna stay here and let him hit me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It goes into that whole mindset. I mean, like, there's no reason why a 12-year-old should be a 12-year-old should never be in an abusive relationship because they're living at home. A 14-year-old shouldn't be in an abusive relationship, but there are 12, 14, 16-year-olds that are in an abusive relationship that their parents are allowing them to be in, because these girls think that these boys have control over them. You are living in your parents.
I do hate to say this though. I do hate to say this, Naya. Sometimes if you're around so much abuse, like, you can be 12, 14, and if you see it, not saying you're gonna become it, because just like I said, my dad was a dirtbag, never around. So common sense would tell me like I want to be the opposite because of the way that I felt when he was abandoning me. But a lot of people would just kind of throw them hands up. A lot of people don't have that stronger mental, attitude to be able to try to flip it and do everything opposite. So it kind of goes without saying, but it makes sense. It really do.
Well, that's what it is.
For a lot of levels.
It starts to natural to people. And it's natural. That's part of what I was saying with the whole girl guy thing. We're told that as young women or young girls, and then it becomes our reality. It becomes, we become natural to it. That's the way it's supposed to happen.
Yep. As we close, thank everybody. Series 5. I mean, this was deep. This was deep, and like I said, shout out to Clay, because Chris is a Facebook homie. I mean, like I said, he blessed me with the interview a year ago when we were going through our 5-year celebration. We've still messaged each other back and forth. And, I definitely want to work with him. And we talked about working together on trying to do stuff for kids and and all kind of stuff. And I just really feel like it's a cool little avenue that we can be able to drive in, knowing that, hey, what we do on radio actually stands for something at the end of the day. So, it's cool when we can be able to hit a lot of people, on some real cool stuff. So, normally I do the New Truth every other Friday. So I'm, for like Cuz and a lot of other people, I'm still debating on whether to go on the air briefly tonight. So if you see me promote it, that's what it is. But Sunday, Brandon After Dark, we have LaTanya Holmes and possibly Case. So we'll probably have 2 interviews on that through the Sunday. Monday I'll be on, even though it's Memorial Day. And then I'll make sure that you guys are hit up with the info on nextlegacy.com. So good day. Okay. So on behalf of the Furious 5 and Clay and nextlegacy.com and the staff that always holds it down, from Denia to Gab, the Sweet Aaron, the Young Army baby girl who dropped off, Miss Love, Cuz from the Lou, TK. We're out until possibly tonight. I think we should go on tonight. I think we should. Yeah, man, we might as well.
Let's do it. We got nothing to talk about. Let's do it.
I think we should. Just if we, if we want to do up a recap of this show, we could do that. So yeah, we'll be on. I just made that executive decision right now. So
real quick, I want to send a big, huge happy birthday shout out
to Johnny. We already know.
To my niece, Elizabeth. She turns 12 today, and that's my big girl.
Happy birthday to your niece.
Happy birthday, Courtney.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to the niece. Yeah, we'll be back on tonight. So, we'll just kick it around and just, kind of recap this show this morning and, just air out whatever's on our mind for the most part and ask Brandon or ask whoever and just kind of do it up. So, yeah, we'll be on. So until later on tonight, people, we'll see y'all later. We're going to roll out of here, right?
Just take a look around, boy. Can't see out.
just watch the track. While verbal percussion setting the stage for the stage and you set off. I bust the rhyme and the dance to get off, because you did off. More than you can do. Know what the dynamic duo do. Well, there's a go-go thing. Come on, rock and swing. You gotta roll with kid and play. Now everybody sing. So when the song stage, wax, and video, we're here to tear it up. So come on, here we go, pump it up. This is high power stuff. Kids play, can't get enough of that funky go rhythm. You wanted a dope jam? Well, that's what we're giving. We're headed for fame because Kid and Play driven. Boy, we don't care. Large is how we live it. We stay paid. Look for that guy and baby, I'm the friend. I'm the fella with the hot top. Bang it down to the sound. You know when I'm turning out. Roll with Kid and Play. Everybody shout. You ladies wanna see BLAYNKID and not like the rest. Our style is death, so we present ourselves as the very best. On the mic, we bring life to the soul. Your whole damn body, we will control. John, gonna show the work on the fellas too. Sound, you gotta keep rocking to the go-go sound. You gotta keep rocking all day, all night. We're different, just like die, the mic, hold the mic. Hey kid, your butt takes me down. We got the best music all around. First off, producer, Wiz is the DJ. Roll with Kid and Play. Now everybody say.
Yes, I think that was the end, right? Oh my goodness, yep, that was the end. So what I'm gonna do real quick is we're talking about hip hop. I'm gonna go ahead and share with you one of the artists that we had on Music on 3 last week. You can check it out on the Music on 3 page. This is Nate Grams. So check out his interview and his performance. Shout out to Nate Grams. He's just been doing the daggone thing. He's an amazing Chicago artist, and yeah, check it out for yourself.
Nate Grams, you're watching Music on 3. Let's get it. Nate Grams, what's up, man? How you feeling? I'm feeling good. How about yourself? Feeling good. Yeah? Thank you for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me. I'm grateful for the opportunity. No problem, no problem. Nate Grams, what? How did you come up with that name? That'd be my homie. Yo, James gave me the name Nate Grams. First, my name is Kid Bangs. I thought it was Kitty. I said I needed a new rap name. He gave it to me, so I just kept it with that Nate Grams since. Changed to me like 2017. Yeah. You've been in the game for a few years then. Yeah, I was making music for like about 5 to 6 years. 5 to 6 years? Yeah. What were you doing before? I was a kid. I wasn't a bad kid. I was a good kid. I was just doing what kids do. I was playing basketball, like doing regular kid stuff. I started making music like when I was like a sophomore in high school. So what made you want to like get into music? My big cousin inspired me, and my Kanye West inspired me to make music. So okay, so you're Kanye West. I'm a big Kanye West, old Kanye West. Like late race. Do you like Kanye West as a person or just the artist? I like him as both. Yeah, I think he kind of. I don't know. I ain't gonna say crazy, but he's a good person. I don't know, man. But I'm not trying to diss him. But I think he tweaks sometimes. But he cool though. He good. Like like some of it's like some of his antics, like some of the stuff he say. Like I think he say a lot of. I don't like some of the stuff he say, but you can't agree with everybody. registration, college dropout, graduation. Yeah, he got class. Definitely a legend. What do you do in your process? Like writing music? Like I listen to the beat. I let it talk to me. I make music. Like that's relatable. I make relatable music. And music. Like I speak from the heart. Like my heart. Yeah. Alright. So do you write a lot? Do you write at night? Anytime. What's your process? When I hit a beat, I just vibe to the beat and I start writing. Like I write anytime. Yeah. Daytime, morning time. Night really don't matter. Like when I get in my zone, I get in my zone. What do you prefer, like performing in a booth, or do you prefer performing in front of like a live audience? I like both. I really like performing in front of people, like a live audience. I love that. I love that. What's different? I mean, other than the obvious, but what made you like that more? Like I love to express myself, man. Like I like showing people what I'm about. Like, you know, like that's what I love to do. I love really getting in front of people. So I love to perform. Like, okay, cool. So Kanye West would be like one of your favorite artists that you kind of look up to. He's definitely a legend. That's somebody I really like. That really inspired me. I wouldn't be making music. Have you ever been to any of his concerts? I haven't. I got like I bought albums. I bought albums. So. Okay. Cool. But if you had the opportunity to collaborate with any artist with Kanye West, most definitely. Yeah, he's a legend. Who else? Give me another name. I'm gonna say Dave East. I give you singers too. Yeah. Let me say Beyonce, Rihanna. There's a lot of Dr. Dre. A lot of people. You create your own. I just write the lyrics. I'm a songwriter. I don't make the beats, but where do you go to? I got all types of producers I mess with. Oh yeah. So I heard about Keep Pushing. Tell me a little bit about that. Keep Pushing is like it's like a motivational song. It's something very inspiring. I wanted to make something uplifting. I feel like what's the inspiration behind it? I just wanted to make something positive. I feel like it's a lot of negative. It's like a lot of negative stuff going on. It's a lot of negative music. So I wanted to make something positive. I got a strong voice, so I want to use my voice for good. Not bad. Oh yeah. That's why I did it. I will Keep Pushing like probably a couple months ago. I just put it out there. How long did you do that? Probably like 2 days. I might write a verse and come back to it, like the hook, and come back to it. All right. So you want to perform in that sort of trade, rappers, yeah, most of my stuff positive. I'm not perfect though. I got a negative. Yeah. I ain't perfect. Yeah, I got a negative side too, but it's not that bad. That's good, man. What kind of advice would you give like the young kids out here that want to grow up? Learn a business, like have fun, stay true to yourself. Like don't ever let somebody tell you what you can't do. Like do you know? Stay true to who you are as a person. That's my advice, man. Learn a business, like 90% business, 10% music. Like it says something. Like owning their music, like copyrighting their music, like trying to register their music, like get an ASCAP, BMI, like running 5 years. Why don't we hear Keep Pushing it? Let's go. Cool. Yeah, Grams. I know what time it is. You already know it's your boy Nate Grams. It's the real rap.
Othello on the beat.
Brothers keep killing brothers, I'm praying for a change. The sun don't shine in my city, all it do is rain. Niggas beefing over blocks that they don't own. Get it back, fuck the beef on me, we too grown. For bullshit and drama, forget the nonsense. I see garbage that fucked up my conscience. They praying on my downfall, but I'ma win. I gotta keep my head up, but what I try not to sin. I know God testing me, I gotta keep pushing. They never paid attention, now they keep looking. I'm a star, my name belong in the lights. I was down and out before, I gotta get it right. I'm all letting mo, better believe the hype. Sky's the limit, so I can never fear heights. Chasing dreams, ain't wishing on a star, man. Chasing M's, ain't settling for chump change. Through it all, I keep my head to the sky. I'ma give it all I got till the day I die. I'ma represent my people when the pole wave. I stay down, it's only right to elevate. Ain't no quitting me, that's never been an option. I got a lot of haters, inside know I'm popping. Do it all, I keep my head to the sky. I'ma give it all I got till the day I die. God on my side, I gotta keep pushing. Ain't no holding back, I gotta keep pushing. For the fam, Joe, I gotta keep pushing. On everything I love, I gotta keep pushing. God on my side, I gotta keep pushing. Ain't no holding back, I gotta keep pushing. For the fam, Joe, I gotta keep pushing. On everything I love, I gotta keep pushing. Young black men, they want me locked in a cell. It's how to live right when you live in a hell. So for better days, King, I pray. I'm just doing me and staying out the way. I was a good kid, I ain't never run the streets, but I always stood up if I had beef. I got the soul of a winner, heart of a champ. It's your boy NG, I do it for the camp. Eating with the same niggas that I start with, rhyme with the same niggas that I walk with. I'm loyal to the game, and until I die, I do this for my cousin, he up in the sky. Rest in peace to all the real kings that ain't gone. Too many fraud niggas coming that they don't belong. The game need change, I'm the cashier. Every time I talk this shit, I bring spit a fear. God on my side, I gotta keep pushing. Ain't no holding back, I gotta keep pushing. For the fam, Joe, I gotta keep pushing. On everything I love, I gotta keep pushing. God on my side, I gotta keep pushing. Ain't no holding back, I gotta keep pushing. For the fam, Joe, I gotta keep pushing. On everything I love, I gotta keep pushing. Yeah, Grams. I know what time it is. Yeah, Grams. Song that's called Only God Can Judge. If you love God, you're gonna love this one. We fell in love with the game, started moving dope. Mama coked up, daddy only lost hope. His childhood didn't mean much, he only raised greener. Shorty Hollis, all he wanted was a new Beamer. Friends ain't mean much to him, he ain't have a lot. Only thing he trusts is God and his fucking Glock. Mouth full of crack, why can't in a shoebox? He hustled just to stay afloat, he ain't got a lot. He trapped just to make a living, working color back. Pray to God on the daily, got him talking back. Least that side, see his life getting worse. Rainy days following it like he been cursed. Damn, life is hard for him, he can't get a break. Early death for prison, could be his fate. He know he live wrong, he in love with the feeling. He sold lots of coke, he committed plenty killings. Heart is cold as a refrigerator, no lie. He ain't healthy, but his guns don't pop by. Never had nobody, so he cling to the streets. Seen it till he died, it made him to a beast. It left him traumatized, he had him moving different. He ain't a bad guy, he just do a lot of sinning. Never had nobody, so he cling to the streets. Seen it till he died, it made him to a beast. We all born sinners, nobody see cast stones. God love us all, even when we live wrong. Who are you to judge somebody for how they live? Only God can judge who you think you is. We all born sinners, nobody see cast stones. God love us all, even when we live wrong. Who are you to judge somebody for how they live? Only God can judge who you think you is. She go to school and she work full time. Life is stressing and she about to lose her mind. She can barely pay the bills, barely getting by. So the cold with a low, she get high. When her friends come around, she put a mask on. But then she doing fine when she really going through it. Devil all around and she just trying to stay strong. But the Lord, he gonna find a way to get her through it. We all born sinners, nobody should cast stones. God love us all, even when we live wrong. Who are you to judge somebody for how they live? Only God can judge who you think you is. We all born sinners, nobody should cast stones. God love us all, even when we live wrong. Who are you to judge somebody for how they live? Only God can judge who you think you is. Yeah, put your hands up. And if you love hip hop, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Yes, shout out to Nate Grams. That was such a fun performance. He is doing some incredible things that you guys are following him because he is definitely up next, no questions asked. So that's just my 5 for being on the broadcast. Shout out to everybody coming in and out. Good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, make sure you guys follow her on Instagram at mind_of @A_Gemini. Yes, yes, yes. Get
Thank
your
you.
Instagram a life, honey. Because, I think I chose to play that song specifically because there's all this misconception about, oh, hip hop is dead and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. As you can see, it's alive and well. You just have to follow the right artists and support the right artists and support actually when everything opens back up, make sure that you're there at their shows. If they have something online, buy their music, all of those things. If you have your own platform, give them a platform where they can be supported and you can showcase them. That's how we change the game. That's how you make an impact. Because if we tell the companies what we want, that's the only way that any of this is gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out if I know 1 or 2 broadcasts. I'll figure it out. I'll definitely be doing the broadcast tomorrow when we're live on Blog Talk. So that's gonna be really fun. I'm excited about that. Don't know how that's gonna go. We're gonna see because it's been a minute and I don't know who's gonna call in. So yeah, you might get nice and you'll get bitchy ones. Depends on who calls in. I'm just saying. Fair warning. But yeah, make sure that you guys follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and Snapchat at Denaya Jordan ZANAYAAGRE. Make sure that you guys are following No Crabs in the Barrel on Instagram. When I say it's blowing up, I mean it's blowing up. I said, well, damn. Okay, guys, let's go ahead. Make sure you get that together. Make sure if you haven't already done so, make sure that you like No Crabs in the Barrel on Facebook. Yes, yes. Facebook.com/No Crabs in a Barrel, and follow Get Into It with Goddess on Instagram as well, and follow No Crabs Bar #1 on Twitter. So many incredible people have come through this broadcast. Hashtag No Crabs in the Barrel, and Google that real quick so you can see the impact that we're having, not just on YouTube but around the world. 7 p.m. so that's 8 p.m. your time, Goddess. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited about that. Shout out to Next Legacy. So it's our first broadcast in 4 years. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. It's gonna be
Y'all
interesting.
gonna have fun.
Like I said, it just depends on who calls in. Because if one person calls in, I'm cussing them all the way out. Because I still don't like them, and that's not gonna change. I don't care what the fuck's going on. No, no. So hopefully it'll just be me and Baby Girl and Goddess and Brandon and a couple other people, and other people won't call in, so I'll be happy. Yay. It's no secret that I don't like him. We just haven't gotten to those shows yet. At some point, you'll be yelling and stuff. That's just not. We just haven't gotten to those. I can't remember which broadcasts those are, but there's a few. Trust me. But yes, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here, and I'm not getting rest. I'm probably get on somebody's chat. But anyways, child, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys, whoever you saw commenting in there, make sure you follow them because they're doing dope shit, either it's on here or the rest of social media. Social media is so much more than YouTube. Remember that. Support your friends everywhere and continue to express what makes you unique. Love y'all.
Good night.